Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning from wherever you are. I need to tidy up my desk here. And welcome to The World's Gone Insane, Death of America stream. And don't let people conflate this with Death to America. This is the Death of America. Okay? It's a completely different thing. Don't at me, bro.
Yes.
Yes, they
100%
Jimmy
agree.
Kimmeled me. Well, my bowels always Jimmy Kimmel me just before a show because I usually have a bowel movement around this time. So, but it's not going to be relevant to anyone watching this later on. So, yes, not much to talk about again today. Pretty quiet week in America, pretty quiet week here in the UK, Another successful launch of a left-wing party is going smooth over here, and America, freedom of speech reigns supreme. So me and Zam are just going to talk about butt sex instead, because why not?
My favorite subject.
There you go. I actually need to grab my nose, so bear with me. So, America, right wingers. If you're a right winger watching this, if you're a right winger watching this, you can openly admit now that you're not pro free speech, right? That you are
not the land of the free.
You're not the land of the free. You have now officially entered fascism territory. You are owned by the billionaire class. So we here in the UK, so that I'm not.
We're not saying we're any better. We're just saying that
we're not saying we're any better, but we know we suck. There's not many people like even our patriots here hate this country, and they know that it sucks. So that's the fundamental difference. So obviously, unless you've been living under a rock, Jimmy Kimmel basically was taken off air, cancelled by the cancel culture brigade, and effectively it officially just ushered in the era of fascism. The funny thing is the news outlets are really just being stupid because they're like, it's for his remarks about Charlie Kirk. No, it wasn't.
So disingenuous. It's unreal.
Yeah, nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. We have the clip here. Hey, Winslow.
Hello, Winnie.
If you want to join us, feel free to join us. I can send you a link.
Remarks about Charlie Kirk.
Can you see that, Zam?
This is why I said they're going to come for everybody.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom.
That's what they fucking clapped him over? That's it?
Yeah, we don't need to see any more of that. But give me 5 minutes and I will. I'll send you a link. But that's essentially what they cancelled Jimmy Kimmel over. And how it happened was the FCC essentially said to ABC, a couple of nice letters there, if you don't get rid of Jimmy Kimmel, we're going to revoke your license. So, of course, corporations, even though they know that Jimmy Kimmel didn't say anything bad, was cancelled. And that now officially, if it wasn't already obvious, it's just ushered in the official death of any kind of free speech in America. And to make matters worse, Ellison, who's like now the richest man in the world, is looking to buy up. If you thought TV was bad, they're coming after social media next. Like TikTok for Americans they're fucked. Essentially, because people like Ellison and Peter Thiel are going to buy 80% stake in TikTok and they are working very closely. I mean, TikTok in America already put in ex-IDF soldier or minister or wherever it was to control TikTok, and they are banning and silencing people and deleting comments in the States. Over here in the UK, it hasn't affected us, but you might not be able to see our content. I know every time I talk about Israel on TikTok, I don't get as many views compared to if I talk about something more benign. But yeah, so TikTok is next, and then Twitch, Reddit,
Discord
are getting pulled up in front of Congress to have a natter about them. So they're going to put pressure on them. So basically, Twitter
and Steam
isn't
as
getting
well, which
pulled
is
up.
Steam.
Okay, they're not calling up Twitter. And this is basically them going to say, look, shut the left wing up, shut up any criticism of Israel, shut up any kind of socialist discord, and no pun intended, or we'll fuck you up. And so this is officially fascism arriving in America. Zam, your thoughts?
Just a quick couple of comments from Daniel Vance here. Like, yeah, you make a joke about Donald Trump, and what's his name from Fox News called for involuntarily killing homeless people with euthanasia, lethal injection, and the guy still got a job.
Yeah,
and that's you want to talk about white privilege. That's white privilege right there.
Yeah,
because other people have made jokes about Charlie Kirk, or have not even made jokes about Charlie Kirk, but it's basically said, look, I don't agree with him being killed, but at the same time, I don't agree with his philosophy, and I thought he was not necessarily a good dude. All these sort of things, fired, sacked, cancelled. You name it. All of these things are happening. It's in your face discrimination, and they're trying to cover it up by saying no, it's not like that. It's different, but you can see it for what it is. And this is like it makes you wonder what, like, the billionaire class, what is their end game here? Like, I mean, is it 1984? Is that what they want?
They just want a never-ending cycle of profits and control over the masses. There is no end game, because the problem with people like them is they don't know what they want. Are we going to get to the point where we're going to be like Aliens Earth, and we're going to just have 5 like billionaires, just trillionaires fighting each other? Is that the end game? Because there is no end game. The end game is somebody's going to just end up unaliving them because there's nothing left to lose. And I can't see anything. I honestly, I don't know what their end game is. I don't have an answer, because it never ends. If it's not them, it'll be their fucking kids. And it's just this because they can thing. They're like, well,
they're destroying our earth at the same time for profit.
Yeah.
They live on this. People are always telling me, oh, they're going to end up living in space. They've been watching too many movies, people who say that. Or they're going to live underground in some luxury. Look, when you're a billionaire, you don't want to be fucking living in a hole underground for the rest of your life. You want to you want to get on your private jet and go to every luxury location that this planet has to offer. You want to visit the world. You want to see this, that, and everywhere. That's what billionaires do. You want to go on your private yacht, go here, there, and everywhere. What they are doing is fucking it up for themselves. Yeah. If they make this planet inhabitable, yeah, then they'll have all this money, and they won't be able to even they won't be able to spend it in a way that would make their lives fantastic. Being stuck in a hole underground is not life. So they're ruining it for themselves. They don't even fucking realize. Like,
yeah, and none of this current crop of billionaires are ever going to see space apart from a short trip up. There's no planets that we're going to inhabit for thousands of years. There's just no, like, we're nowhere near that. I mean, we can't even look after our own planet.
No, but Ginge, like, like a lot of these movies, like there was that one with Jodie Foster and Matt Damon where they're living in some sort of space ring and in space, and like these are just fiction. Yeah, like an astronaut has said that living in space is not fucking easy. The anti-gravity and all of that shit, which is something a lot of people will have to subjugate themselves to if they decide to do it now, because we are no way near
That's what I said.
being close to
Yeah. We're it's
nowhere
thousands of
near.
years
Yeah.
away.
Like a lot of these movies, like
Echo.
getting feedback, Winnie. And Matt Damon, we're not living in some sort of space.
There we go. Is that better?
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah. So yeah, like I say, they don't think, they only think about short term quarterly profits, and they do not understand. Sociopaths, narcissists do not understand the consequences of their actions, and most of them get off on it. They love the misery that people are going through.
I know Jeff Bezos definitely does. He likes it too. But and at the same time, you got the divide and conquer, like Elon Musk. Making out that anyone who is a different race to white people are the problem, and you should go after them. And then they're following with every whim. All those dickheads for who marched in the in London last week had Elon Musk, a billionaire, dictating our fucking policies and our politics. A foreign billionaire at that, South African, coming on our screens, telling white people that you should go after people who are different, because don't go after me. I look like you. Protect me. Go after them. The people who probably are right about me. Go after them. They're the ones who are the bad people, and that's what. It's just like I'm tired, Ginge. I'm tired.
I mean, me too. That's why, like, it takes my energy, takes a lot of energy to just do one of these shows, because you just got to keep reminding yourself of how fucked everything is, and it's just like, I'm literally waiting for the boiling point where it all just explodes and riots break out. Because I'm talking about the UK. I can't speak for America, but in the UK, I can only see like massive race riots taking place, and then at some point they're gonna hit the wrong people, and it's all gonna blow up in their faces, just like when they tried to riot in Birmingham, and the Asians just basically kicked the shit out of the fascists there. And
they're misinformed though. These people, they should be on our side, but they're so misinformed, and they listen to the wrong media.
Yeah,
and the people who are fucking them over are the very people that they fucking worship and
but it's
side
because
with.
they're racist. So
Yeah.
a racist talking bollocks is like, yep, that's exactly what I want to hear. They have no idea what constitutes how to get their material well-being improved anymore, because they live like under the yoke of Thatcherism for 45 years, where they know that no matter who they vote in, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. So and human beings are moronic, so they always vote against their best interest, because, and especially, like I've said it before about the UK, they're when it comes to politics, they are the absolute thickest of the thickest. Like, you think the Americans are thick, they are thick, but the English are on another level of thick when it comes to politics. And here you see
the flag
like,
shaggers are definitely
the flag shaggers. Like, they just not even the flag shaggers. Like, centrists in this country as well, equally as
I
thick.
agree. Yeah. I come across them. I've had
But the
debated them in
flag
my car.
shaggers are like, they're just a bunch of. They all look the fucking same. They all look the same, okay, and they look like hobos. For Americans to understand, they all look like hobos. They have like fucking shaved hair, missing teeth. They're all drinking alcohol. They can barely speak their own language, and they just a walking contradiction. Protect our women, yet they're chased down and raped an Asian woman during last week. They attack women that basically stand up for themselves and protest against what they're doing.
Yeah, they're beating up women who look different to them as well. Like, oh, you're not a white woman, and then even if they are white women, they still beat them up. Like they protect our women, then they get home and they put on their white vest and beat the shit out of their wives.
Yeah, there's always like spikes of domestic violence during these things, because they come home tanked up, riled up. But anyway, before we bang on about England, hi Winnie, what are your thoughts on what's transpiring over at your side of the pond? Oh, you're muted.
It's very scary. literally it feels like we're getting to that, like you said, 1984 point where you can't say anything. I went, funnily enough, I don't know if this was like a joke or like, because this didn't, usually the Smithsonian has like a plan for what they put out in the museums, but they put all of the Bill of Rights out, which has never been done for like 150 years. So I don't know if this was like a joke, like a
joke or a form of like protest.
Like a form of protest is, yes,
Yeah.
that's the better way to say it. Of like, hey, these are the Bill of Rights. We're putting these out so that you know what you're supposed to be doing and following and whatever. So I went to go see those today. When I got off at the stop, like, it's crazy how much National Guard is around. Like, you can't do anything. Today I kind of was just like, I said hi to them just because they were leaning, which when I was in the Army, if I leaned, I got in trouble. But they have nothing to do. We're paying $1 million a day for them to be here, and they're taking pictures of tourists. Because they literally did that for me. They don't know who I am, so they probably just assumed I was a tourist. And so it's scary, crazy times. We, being people of color, do not leave our house after a certain time because they are wandering the streets, and that's that. We're not worried about National Guard as much as ICE, and ICE comes out at night, it seems like.
Right. Okay.
So
yeah,
the National Guard are like from random states. Like, I think today's they sounded like they were from the South. Yesterday it sounded like they were from Minnesota, the ones that I talked to yesterday. So I think they picked random, whoever wanted to go got to go, and that was it. But they don't want to be here, and we're paying literally $1 million a day. And I just saw on NPR that they're probably going to be here through at least January because they're looking for food vendors for them. So like people to pay or people to make food for them.
Wouldn't they be the ones that they've just deported or arrested?
Largely, yes.
Yeah.
So I told him not to call. So yeah, it's very different. We went to the baseball game the other night, which was Hispanic Heritage Month. If you follow the corporate sort of every month is something.
I must have been there in their truckloads ready to pounce.
Yeah.
They look like hillbillies from home. They have their like their army boots on, but then they just have jeans and a t-shirt, and lots of times they don't have ice on them. The way you can tell is because they have a flap jacket on.
Right.
But it was full of National Guard, like just standing there checking people's bags. But I'm like, there's homeless that you just kicked out. Why can't we pay the homeless to do this stuff? I'm sure lots of them just need a little bit of help,
Yeah.
Trump hates the homeless. He despises homelessness. He hates looking at them, and that's that elite mentality.
We could save millions of dollars and pay them $15 or $20 an hour, which is minimum wage, whatever the minimum wage is now in DC.
Yeah,
I know, but
they don't think like that. They just want that military presence. They want to
don't
North Korea up the country.
They're like giving people like you and me anything. You know what I mean?
Correct.
We have to scratch and scrape for everything. The billionaires, they'll get everything. Look at SpaceX constantly getting subsidies from the government, but me and you, we can't get jack shit. And hi, ladies, leave America alone. Rick B says, well, why didn't ICE leave that 80-year-old man who owned that car wash alone? They beat the fuck out of him. He's 80 years old. He's got bumps and bruises all over his body because ICE raided his facility, and they pushed it. He walked up to them as they came in through the door, and they pushed him hard on the fucking ground. They have no, life is meaningless to Americans right now, especially the ones in power. That is, they're fucking bombing boats without even determining what those boats may be. I mean, JD Vance even said as a joke, and it's not a joke, that you should be scared going fishing in certain areas because you could get mistaken for a fucking Venezuela drug mule, you know, and get blown to smithereens. I mean, that's the world we fucking live in right now. You know, if you're Latin American, if you speak Spanish or have a bit of an accent, or you're brown, you're allowed to get racially profiled. I mean, how dare you be bilingual? You know, yeah, this is the worst times I've ever seen. And if it's happening within America, it always affects the rest of the fucking world, because people they copy America, they follow America, and to call yourselves the land of the free now is an insult. You know, the first, but all of these things. Sorry for yabbering on, but all of these things I've always said doesn't mean shit. You're supposed to have a separation of church and state. Religion is poured all over politics. They can't stop going on about it all the time. You know, even when you fucking induct a new president into, you know, a new person as president, they still have to put their hand on their Bible or whatever. Religion is everywhere. All of these amendments, all of these the Constitution, they don't mean shit. Yeah, if people like Donald Trump are in power and has a whole bunch of people fucking going against it, means fuck all.
And
you know,
like,
yeah,
we walked into the National Archives, and the first thing that you see is the Magna Carta, which says, "No free man shall be taken or imprisoned except by lawful judgment of his peers," meaning like in a court of law. To no one we will sell, to no one we will refuse or delay right or justice. And we are shitting all over that right now. And I don't.
Yes, the British Magna Carta, which we conveniently forgot during the slave trade. Going after communists and the Irish as well. We conveniently forgot that Magna Carta. But yes, those are words that we're meant to live by. But those in power, they never do. But when they're not in power, they use those. They're always like, you know, they're like, oh, First Amendment, oh, my rights, oh, I'm the victim here, and all this. And as soon as they get in power, like, I never said any of that. I don't, what? You know, fuck your rights.
It's not Magna Carta, by the way. It's now Magna Carta.
Yeah, it's the Magna Carta, yeah. Hi, Christopher Scarce. I try to follow America, but it's hard. I mean, it's hard to keep up. It's hard to keep up, for sure.
Yeah, we've got this fat orange nonce in our country, right? He's leaving today, isn't he? Or
he's leaving today. I think he's on his way back. But I mean, it's hard to follow what the hell's going on in this country as well. But like, you know, but for America, you got shootings going on every day, and then
every single day. And we thought it was bad 4 weeks ago, even. But now that we literally, like, I'm an American and I'm on this thing, I feel like I could be in trouble next, you know?
How many people got shot to shit on 2 occasions since Brian Kilmeade made that comment? There's been 2 mass shootings amongst homeless camps. Yeah, and the news don't bring this up. Mainstream media doesn't bring this up because they're fucking homeless. You know what I mean? Who cares? You know?
They don't even care about the school shootings.
Yeah, they're a penny to a pound now.
Put the homeless encampments aside, because I hate to say it, no one cares about that. As long as you're not homeless, we like forget about it or whatever.
Oh, I'm telling you, they're gonna be when the numbers are down for arresting migrants, they're gonna just lock up the homeless, or use them as target practice, or just burn down their encampments and beat the shit out of them. Like, mobs will go after them because
I've seen it.
You know.
No, but I've seen it like on social media. It disgusts me. Like, these like guys trying to get some clout on YouTube. They will find homeless people who are desperate, and they're willing to pay them a little bit of money, just to make them do something really stupid. So and all manners of things. Like, there's one guy, he bought food, and the homeless guy thought he was going to get the food, but no, he ate the food in front of the fucking homeless person. You know, he purposely tricked him. And another person had some money, and he rolled it up into some sort of like joint and smoked it in front of the homeless person. You know,
like pricks on TikTok doing it for like clout.
I haven't seen this on TikTok, but I've seen it like on compilation videos on YouTube I can't find these people individually, but you find these like other YouTubers who are more on my side of the political aisle, who are condemning these fuckers by exposing them. But these fuckers won't come up on my history or my favorites or whatever, because I wouldn't endorse this shit. I don't look for this shit. But when you find people who expose them, that's how I find out about them. So I'll be back in 1 minute. I need to get myself some water.
No, that's fine. But I was saying, I don't know if you were here at the beginning of the stream where I was saying like social media is going to be next.
Well, yeah, because TikTok, I don't remember exactly when it's sometime this month. In the terms of service, basically is shit. They're gonna shadow ban you if you're talking politics and it's against Trump. They're gonna and I'm looking for the other social media platforms to follow.
Well, I mean, they're gonna go after all of them. They will go after all of them to basically say, hey, shut the left up and shut up any criticism of Israel. The funny thing is it's pointless doing that now, because Israel is at the point of no return now. Like everybody knows what it's done, everybody knows what it's doing. Shutting up Discord about it is just not going to help them. Okay, and not that they care. I mean, they're acting with complete impunity. No one's going to stop them. Like the British government is literally flying spy planes out of Cyprus every day for the Israelis to spy over Gaza so they know where to strike. So our government is just as complicit in this as America and Israel is. We are no exemption whatsoever. And I basically keep saying to the new kind of left-wing MPs, I'm saying the one thing I want on the ballots, the one thing that must be done, there's a group of us, that Rishi Sunak, David Lammy, Keir Starmer, and any other Zionist in the Labour Party and the Conservative Party needs to be arrested, who helped facilitate the genocide in Gaza. Just arrest them.
Who's going to arrest them?
Trial. You know what I mean?
Because who's going to arrest them? Because our fucking police are complicit.
No. If the next government gets in that is got balls or is left wing, they can easily arrest them. They have broken the Geneva Convention. They have violated. I mean, if it was up to me, like if I was Prime Minister, I would literally lock up the entire Conservative Party for what they did, because austerity, forget COVID, austerity alone caused the deaths of 150,000+ citizens in the UK in just not even like how long. When did they get in power? 2010. Just the first decade alone. So we're talking before COVID hit. Okay, 150,000 deaths through austerity. The death toll in the first year alone was so bad, 10,000 people, after cuts to disability and cuts to benefits and basically rampant poverty, that the figures for that have been officially classified as state secrets. So they cannot be opened up to be investigated.
Really?
Yeah, that's how bad it is. So if it was up to me, I'll lock them up. And there's evidence to do it. I'm not just saying, lock them up for the sake of locking them up. They literally broke the UN even said that the UK is violating every human rights law on its policies of its own citizens. What do you think about the new Corbyn Sultana, your party, imploding? I'll talk about that now, actually. So what there is, so obviously, unless you've been living under a rock, especially in the UK, you would have seen that two very popular comedians, politicians, well, it is like a big fucking comedy act the way they're handling things, starting off a new party, and there's now infighting and clashes between Corbyn and the 4 independent MPs. That's one group. and Zara Zaltana and another bunch of members, because Corbyn and his lot want it to be a top-down party, meaning that, the main kind of players get to control the policies and make the decisions and all this kind of shit. Zaltana's about like, no, if you're a member, you get a say in policies. Like, we keep it as democratic as possible, which is what that's how the Greens function in this country. And the Greens are not a top-down. Zach Polanski is a leader, but he can't make all the decisions. It has to be like a collective from the membership. And they're clashing over that. The 4 of the independent MPs, and I said this when they won, and I said this when the alliance was being made, that said they're single issue MPs. That's no good. That you can't have single issue MPs be part of a collective, especially as some of them are socially conservative. And one of them's a fucking landlord and quite a rich one. So I'm like, they won on the issue of Gaza, which is great. I'm glad they won on that. But they're not fit to join that party. They should remain out of the party as independent MPs, let them do what they want. But these arseholes are causing all the problems because they don't want decisions that will affect, especially Adnan Hussein doesn't want to affect his profits, and he's transphobic, allegedly, as well. And that's not what this party is all about. So now you've got Zara and Corbyn are clashing, but there's now another group within that party that want to say, you know what, while you two fight it out, fuck off, we'll take control of the party and get things going because times are desperate. So it's a big mess. And whatever happens, the Greens are gathering fantastic momentum. Their membership is going up. Zach Polanski is phenomenal. I mean, if people think like ALC and Bernie and all of that, forget them. He is them turned up to 11. He is spectacular.
Yeah, I'm starting to see some stuff of his. It's really
follow
impressive.
him, mate. He is wicked. I've spoken to the guy. He's a lovely fucking guy as well, and he'll be a phenomenal prime minister. Absolutely phenomenal prime minister. And if your party thing implodes, and if I'm Zara Zaltana, she might as well just join the bloody Greens. Because they have got great momentum. They've just won 3 by-elections for the council yesterday as well. So they're brilliant. So I wouldn't worry about your party. I'd focus on the Greens, get their momentum going while those idiots sort themselves out. Fucking stupid. And I blame Corbyn for that. And Corbyn needs to go because he's too old school and his
time is up, yeah.
His time is up. He's done. He should go. The other 4 MPs need to go as well. And let Zara and her crew do what they're going to do, which is essentially exactly what the Greens are doing. So that's what's happening with your party.
And once again, like, when I see somebody like Rick B, like, mate, there's only so much being a pick-me is going to benefit you in life. If you can't see that these people want you gone. Do you remember Rick B, when I was reading up your boy, Vivek Ramaswamy, and how he said Happy 4th of July, and all the comments from the right-wing cunts that you admire and like to suck the fucking peanuts out of their assholes from, they fucking ripped on Vivek. They destroyed him. You are no different, dude. You can bleach your fucking skin. You can wear a fucking Union Jack. They hate you. They fucking hate you.
And answer to your question there, I mean, you're a giant tit, so it's impossible to make you an even bigger tit. So that's your answer about Zach. Zach, in his younger days, he was like into hypnotherapy, but even he admits it's a load of bollocks and all that. Again, something right-wingers need to understand, people are meant to change over time. They're meant to grow and learn. And I'm not the same bloody person I was 15 fucking years ago. You know what I mean? I always say to people, I was center-right on my politics. Now I'm a full-blown lefty because I wasn't that aware of everything.
I voted for Trump the first time.
Yeah.
The very first election.
When you're not privy to all understanding everything and all of that, but then, the more I kept getting clapped back by friends on Facebook you know, like John Connor, and then there's other two friends from like MySpace days and all that. I was just like, well, they're showing me this shit, and that's the evidence, and I can see the evidence there. So why am I believing the other thing that I've been brainwashed into thinking? So it's just slowly that, and then austerity kicked in the UK, and it affected my industry as well. And it was just like, okay, everything I thought I knew is bollocks. And it's as simple as that, you know what I mean? It was not like, oh, the awakening. It's just like bit by bit by bit, and you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And so you're meant to grow. Zach Polanski, you know, 2018, he's like, oh, Corbyn's an anti-Semite. Well, we spoke to him about that, and he was just like, I fell for the bollocks because I was completely ignorant at the time. Because I'm not like that. And he's shown he's not like that. He's sitting there and he's like, yep, I'm happy to work with Corbyn. I'm happy to work with Zara. I'm happy to work with anyone. And he's even now sitting there showing support, saying, look, if you want to talk, we could talk. We can have a meeting about what's going on with your party and all this kind of shit. Like, the guy is phenomenal. I just hope he doesn't have any fucking other crazy skeletons in his closet, because you know that's always the case. You think, yeah, this guy's great. Then you think, oh, no, he's a wrong, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's on that.
The skeletons are in everyone's closet, mate. It just depends on how many skeletons they have and how badly those skeletons are damaged.
It depends on like social mores. Like, does the society think what that specific skeleton is bad, right? Like, it doesn't matter what the skeleton is, but if it's something that society deems as bad, then yes, it could be worse.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, in this country, it's not what society thinks, because society is too stupid to give a shit. It's what the press think and how fast the politicians buckle. Because let's say, for example, if I ran for politics, ran as an MP, you know, they could look at my social media history and they're like, Jesus Christ, this guy's talking about violence against the state. Jesus Christ, this guy's saying like we should unalive billionaires and all this kind of shit. And they'll call me up and I'll be like, yeah. But if I'm in a party, that party's going to be like, this guy's too toxic. So if I was to run, I'd have to run as complete, like, independent with no affiliations to any party, because then that could be used against that party to say, look, these people, they harbor a guy that's pro-murder, that's pro this and that, and all the fucking crazy
so
shit.
ridiculous.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so I wouldn't begrudge any party. I'm just using me as an example. I have no intention of doing any of that, but just using me as an example, like, nobody would want to touch me because they'd be too cowardice to say, well, it comes from a place of frustration, anger, mental health, and this feeling of powerlessness. Where what's the reality with me? The reality with me is like, you know, I see like a kid in Gaza crying, and I start blubbing like a little child. You know what I mean? I don't want to hurt anyone, but you get to that point when you're just like, fucking,
you can't,
these animals, they won't stop. Someone needs to stop them. And if they end up getting Charlie Kirk, you don't have sympathy. You know what I mean? When the dust did settle with Charlie Kirk, even after that, I was just like, okay, the memes were funny, but at the end of the day, it's just a 31-year-old guy with 2 kids who's now gone. And it was one of their own that did it. And that person, from everything that's coming out, was pissed off about Charlie Kirk's hateful rhetoric, especially given the guy had like a possible, there's nothing of this is confirmed because the FBI completely fucked the case up to the point where,
of course they did,
we don't know where he is.
Look who it's ran by.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So we only could speculate that the guy was pissed off at Charlie Kirk because, you know, he's part of Nick Fuentes' crew who have targeted Kirk and always talked about unaliving Kirk and all this kind of stuff. Not Fuentes himself, but his groypers. And you get to that point and you're just like, see, if we take it on face value, this guy was pissed off about the anti-trans rhetoric, which now they want to class trans people as terrorists in the United States and institutionalize them. And so he went after somebody that's vehemently anti-trans. And we said, like, if the person that took out Charlie Kirk was trans, not that I agree with it, but do you blame them? When you
No.
are cornered, you have to defend yourself, lash out, and you have to say, you know what? We're not going to go out without a fight. It just sucks that it's someone that's not really that relevant. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, if it was like a main politician person type thing, that might, send more like alarm bells. But even with Charlie Kirk, they've just used that as an excuse now to just destroy the First Amendment.
And
Oh
what's
no, you have to be relevant. They've made him into a martyr regardless.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and what's funny about that too is that what was I
Ricky
gonna say?
wasn't a lefty.
It was not a lefty. It was a
What he wrote on
Trumplicant.
what he wrote on the bullet was pure trolling.
Mm-hmm.
Was pure just trolling memes that are like from like furry and groper corners and all this kind of shit.
No,
He
some of the
wasn't a
stuff
lefty.
like
He might not have even been. The thing is, like, it was Ken Clipperstein or someone like reputable that spoke to people, and he might not even be a right winger. It might just be like apolitical, just not give a shit. But the fact that if he was in a relationship with the trans person or the trans person is like his friend, whatever, that rhetoric against trans people could have set him off. And that's not a left and right thing. Like, do you know how many fucking right wingers are in the closet? And how many right wingers are furries? And how many right wingers have an
like trans
absolute
porn.
hard on for trans porn and trans women? You know what I mean? It's very much about projection. Okay, the amount of they're all closeted. So even if the guy had a trans girlfriend, that would not automatically make him left wing. That's how narrow-minded the right wingers are. Because Nick Fuentes, Nazi supreme, was banging a cat boy. You know what I mean? So
a lot. Look, there's a reason why Grinder goes into overdrive and actually shuts down because there's so much data and shit going through it when there's a Republican convention going on. Because all of these guys, they would spout homophobic comments in public, but they'll get their fucking ass fucked, in private, or snort cocaine off a fucking rent boy's crack or something like that, and it's no different to trans people as well. Like if they're hating on trans, and there's no doubt in my mind that they're fucking calling them up, the trans hookers or whatever, in their free time, because that's who these people always tend to be, full of projection, full of self-loathing, and
it's pure projection.
Which is crazy to me because we would just welcome them with open arms. Just be yourself. Like, why does it have to be this difficult?
Yeah, which you find is often the case because they build up this kind of idea of progressives, and then when they actually leave their camp, they come over to the other side. They're like, "Oh, you're nothing like what I was told." You know what I mean? It's just like, well, of course, because the more they saber rattle against us, the more they are exactly what they say we are, like the radical left, the violent left, and all this. Well, the statistics themselves, okay, not just published by apolitical companies that will show you the graphs, but even ones published by fucking right-wing outlets like the Washington Post will show you overwhelmingly by 80-something% that the violence caused, not just in America, any fucking where in the world, is by right-wingers. It's by right-wingers. And I love, do you know what cracks me up as well? Is they put like Islamists in a separate category, and I'm like, they're still right-wingers. It's the same thing.
Yeah, they're conservatives.
They're conservatives.
Yeah.
I hate because I always, when I see Islamists, I count that in the percentile. And if you do that with one of the graphs that's out, it's like 90%.
They're religious extremists. What do you expect?
Yeah.
They're right wing.
I think Muslims are fucking left wing. Fundamentalist Muslims aren't. So
they're too dumb to know the difference.
They don't know the difference.
I
They
wish
just
I
think-
could find that video. I saw a video of Trump talking the other day, and he said his almost exact words were, "The smart people don't vote for me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smart people don't like me.
Smart people don't
Yeah.
like me. I like
Yeah.
dumb people, all that kind of stuff.
And I'm like,
I don't care about you. I only like you. I
you
only
guys
want your vote.
literally, he just called you all stupid.
Yeah.
He called you stupid, Rick B. Just
Yeah,
so you
called
know,
you
because
stupid,
you
Rick
like
B.
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And
So,
that means you're not smart.
but I mean, it's a cult, and I'm just counting down the days till Trump dies, and to see what happens, because that's going to be the interesting part. Because he dies, and then what I'm hoping will happen is the cult will just fizzle out to the point where it's like, well, I'm still poor, I'm still fucked. So what's next, kind of thing.
No,
And
they're just setting up for JD Vance. That's what they're doing now.
but they don't like
JD
JD Vance. They don't like him.
He has an Indian wife. That's an Achilles heel he doesn't realize he has.
Yeah.
That's also true.
Yeah, I mean,
They don't like him.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting. I'm counting down the days till Trump dies, because after that, if the Democrats get in as well, they're not going to do anything. They're just going to keep all the policies, and you just have another Republican again in 2032. Because they're sitting there now banging on about, oh, we're going to run Pete Buttigieg and Kamala. Pete Buttigieg, when he was a transport minister, did fuck all. He cucked to the airline companies, and Kamala's a useless cunt. So they're not going to offer anything.
In my circles, I'm hearing Gavin Newsom, which I don't think is any better. So,
and Newsom's, and also he's anti-union, and he's pro-corporate. Anytime he makes promises, he's going to deliver something to California, lobbyists just enter the fray, and then all of a sudden that policy is abandoned. So
look. Regarding Newsom, don't get me wrong. I am not an admirer of Newsom, like many people are. I do appreciate him obviously going after Donald Trump, because none of the other fucking Democrats are. But if Newsom did come into power, it'd be more like a Joe Biden, Barack Obama type presidency, where people won't be necessarily getting what they need, but it wouldn't be what we have now. And I think a lot of Americans, unfortunately, they'll take that over what they have.
Right.
They'll take that over this.
And the thing is, as well, like from what I've been seeing from other YouTubers, one of them who works within like the legal framework, not legal, some other guy, it's saying that everything that the Republicans are doing now, if the Democrats had a spine, once they got into power, they literally have grounds to arrest every single one of them, because they have all violated the Constitution, because executive orders don't mean shit. You can literally overturn those like that. And so there's grounds to arrest them all. And they won't do it, though. I guarantee they won't do it. They're going to be down there doing the bipartisan bollocks. And then
I've been in and out of Democratic politics, like of course, on the more local end of things, but it's always, no, you do it. No, you do it. Oh, if you don't want to do it, it's okay. Like, we know we are sitting here complaining that things are happening, but like we're too, once something can be done about it, we're too scared. Like we just back down.
They never take that extra step, and they're just cowards. And it's just like, well, at this point in time, you might
we kind of deserve where we're at.
Yeah, you just might as well be anarchists, because they're just completely fucking useless. So,
you know where they're at when it comes to someone like Zoran Mamdani, because there are a handful of Democrats, the ones you expect, who are backing Zoran. But the more establishment ones, the ones who need to go, like Booker and Jeffries and so on, they ain't saying shit. They're not backing him whatsoever, because they're all being bought by AIPAC for a start. But when it comes to like Zoran Mamdani is so good that he's able to have turned certain people who are MAGA blue. Yeah. Because he has actual policies. He's not trying to be Republican light to appeal to MAGA. He's showing, look, this is you pretty much want what we want, but you're being sold, but the wrong person is selling you that promise. this is what I'm going to offer you, and then they like it, and they're
Having a
willing
good
to
time
join
there.
him. You know, so
Yeah.
so regard,
because
yeah,
when it cut, look, when they take their heads out their asses, just like her cat, when they take their heads out their
Oh my
asses
God.
and actually listen to policies, they start to understand. Oh, okay, but yeah, they'll write a stern letter. But the
strongly
problem
worded
is,
letter, yeah.
they'll listen to Bernie, they'll understand his policies, but the minute he goes, they fall right back into that trap of. I was going to say the R word, but I don't want to say the R word on here. But the just absolute morons. They go back into their little cult hub. So it's about you have to keep reminding them with like pretty pictures. You know what I mean?
I will say today when I was getting the lunch after I looked at the Constitution, there was a family. I said this sort of in the chat. There was a family who used to be MAGA by like me eavesdropping in on their conversation, and they're like, it's a the guy kept saying it's a fucking cult, it's a cult, it's a cult. Like I don't understand why we're here. Like I'm so happy, like after seeing all of the information that's plain as day, the Constitution was out, the Bill of Rights was out, you could read every line of the Bill of Rights, especially the newer stuff because we had typewriters then. But you could sit and read all of the things for yourself. And he's like, I'm so happy we started to see the light. So I don't know if that's a good sign, like where people are finally starting to get out, or
I think well though, unfortunately, we need that because some people they kind of know, like, you know, we've thrown our bag in with Trump. We're gonna stick with it, you know, throughout. And some people don't want to admit that they're wrong. You know, the idea of admitting that they were wrong is foolish to them. They know who Donald Trump is, and if they said that they were wrong, then it would be just too much for them regarding who they are as a person. So they stick with him.
It's only after he dies that they'll be able to just kind of use that as an excuse to kind of get out and break away and all this kind of shit.
it's just it's heartbreaking because they don't even see. I don't know. It's like trying to talk to an actual cult member because you're like, hey, look, and then that just brings them more into it. So it's like, I don't know how to even talk to you anymore to like help you, or like, hey, you're in a cult.
You can't do anything.
Pyramid scheme. Hey, you're
you can't do anything. With always the one thing I always learn about human behavior is until they come to the realization themselves, there is nothing you can do. Like for the amount of my friends that come to me for like relationship advice or something, I'm like, doesn't matter what I tell you, you're gonna do the exact opposite. So I will say, you know what you're gonna do is wrong, but you're gonna do it anyway. If you want, but I never say to do it because that's just they can use that as an excuse. I would just say, you know what you're gonna do. Once you've gone through it, come back and then have a conversation about what you did. You know what I mean? Like, you know what you did, young man, kind of thing.
Like,
you just got to leave them to it.
Like for instance, a mate of mine, you know who that mate is.
Yeah.
He went out with this girl for a while, and it's really weird in the way that, you know, like you don't want to come across as like a salty mate when you say, you know, there's issues with this girl, like, you know, and stuff like that, and you're trying to advise your friend. And you're not necessarily saying to him break up with her, but you're just trying to say, look, grow a pair. You know what I mean? Stop being a fucking doormat and all of that. And your mate says, you know what, I don't want to know, and all of this sort of stuff. And then later on, your mate will then try to pour out his feelings to you about how his girlfriend's pissing him off. And when my mate did that to me, I told him, shut the fuck up. I've already told you where I stand with this girl. I already told you what she's all about. And now you have the audacity to complain to me about your girlfriend when things are not going right. I don't want to fucking hear it. You know, and eventually he understood. He got the message, you know, and he finished with her.
Get out.
You know, and I never wanted him to necessarily want to finish with her. I just basically wanted him not to be the doormat. You know what I mean? But he decided to finish with her. You know.
Yeah, I mean that I know we'll go off on a tangent, but who cares? It all kind of works in because it's cult-like behavior, but nothing infuriates me more than doormats, be they man or woman, when they just let their partner walk all over them. It's just like, what the fuck are you doing? You're so scared of like saying no, and it's just making things worse. But again, you can't do anything. You can't say anything. They just have to come to that realization themselves. And it's the same with Trump supporters and right wingers in general. Even over here, like one of my friends is so far gone that we banned him from talking politics in the group. And so it's because it's like you are so gone down that conspiracy rabbit hole that we can't like when they went out, they had a night out. I didn't go because it's too far for me. They had a night out and he drove them fucking crazy. He drove them crazy. And they're like, oh, if you were there, you guys would have had hilarious. So I was like, yeah, I would have had fun with it because I love pissing off these type of like conspiracy theories. But my friends don't give a shit about that. They're football obsessed. They just want to talk football. They don't want to talk like politics. And so he's banned from talking about it. And we said, look, until you grow up and realize you're the wrong one, you can only talk about football, and that's it. So we keep the conversation.
Let's read some comments. Daniel Vance says, watching what happened in rural Ohio, many of my parent generation voted for Trump and now act like ostriches and bury their heads in shame and won't even speak of it. It just drives me crazy that if you like the fact that there's so many people are such bad judges of character. They really are. Like, I knew who Trump was a mile off. I knew who he was prior to him running for president. I knew about the bankruptcies. I knew about him, and how he raped his own wife, at one particular point. And the cheatings and the scandals and Epstein and I knew all about this guy, and yet none of this shit mattered because he was able to talk the talk, and people fell for that shit.
Got
like
his whole
fucking
career.
idiots.
He was able to talk the talk.
Yeah.
He got scammed somebody to put his name on a building, and so now like we have a fucking president.
Well, I blame the media.
Trump University was also a scam. All of that.
I blame the media because they didn't fully investigate him years prior and shame him years prior. They propped him up as some kind of like fucking like business genius, and when it's like, could it be further from the bloody truth? I'm like, the minute he bankrupted a casino, that's where they should have just buried him and never let him come back.
Because they would do that to anybody else.
Twice.
Yeah, they would have done it to everyone else.
He's bankrupt 2 casinos, and America will be his next bankruptcy.
He's bankrupt in America, heading for
depression. Yeah, it's already happened. All the tariffs and all of that shit, it's all part of it. Yeah, all my conservative friends and associates are 100% on the Trump train, but don't want to let the other side win. That's what they're doing. It's ridiculous because it's more about. I've actually said, and you actually said it as well, Ginger, that if you ran as a socialist or whatever, you'd run as a Republican.
Yeah,
because that's why the hell not? And for me, if a Republican offered me all the greatest policies in the world, I would vote for him. I wouldn't just stick with Democrats. I would vote for who offers me what I want. And the fact that people are truly making it, or you can't vote for a demon crowd or whatever, it's fucking stupid, man. So props to Bernie Sanders again, by the way, because the guy's in his 80s and he's doing this. And my God, I don't know how long. He's like the greatest American politician of all time.
I wore my Bernie Sanders shirt today, so
nice.
But the fact that it's still to this day, this guy is going all over America trying to do the thing that all other Democrats are not doing whatsoever is ridiculous. Yeah, women are the worst. Okay.
You don't need to read every comment. Like, so I want to go to this one here.
Yeah, go and read
this
one.
Earlier, I think
Trump just slept with the right man, Roy Cohn. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Roy Cohen. Yeah, he was the guy who made Trump
Mhm.
who he is today. You know that movie about Donald Trump. You know, the one with Sebastian Stan. That shows you who Roy Cohen was as well. And he talked about it, like telling him don't apologize and all of that sort of stuff. And Trump never admits he's wrong. Trump, like the world could be burning down around them, which it is, and Donald Trump will say, yeah, everything is
Mhm.
okay. You know, it's like that fucking meme.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With the guy, with that dog guy, you know, sitting in the room while the house is on fire. That's Donald Trump, because so much stuff is going to shit right now, and he's now barring journalists who ask him tough questions. You know, it's become very much state-run media. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
It's gonna get worse.
If you guys
Way
want to
worse.
see the future, go play Road 96. It's usually on sale, but it's basically there's this main politician, and everything is like they're sitting on lawn chairs. They don't have like furniture anymore. They don't have anything, but they're like, "Yay, go Tyrac!" But it's the same bullshit. Like that is literally our future. There's
That's
the
your
teens
future.
are trying to get out of the country because they're putting them in work camps and shit. Like this is literally our future.
Yeah, I mean,
Idiocracy was also is crazy how that film has become so prevalent
Mhm.
now. Like more and more people are watching it because it does resemble the world today. And another thing, I know you're not into watching Gen V, Ginger, but I'm watching Gen V season 2, and what's really upsetting is that sometimes these shows and films are supposed to be parodying what the world could be, but Gen V is now not even parodying it. It's pretty much, regardless of the fact that it's got superheroes and stuff, it feels like the world we're living in now. You know what I mean? It's fucked. It's like corporately run, you know, totally fascistly enabled, you know, with a religious line across it, you know, where everyone is voting against their best interest. It's fucking crazy.
yeah.
You know,
And the thing is like enjoy those shows while you can because they're out. I
Mhm.
mean, I guarantee you, whatever South Park's going to do next, they're going to really fucking.
It'll
I
be the end of it. It'll be the last episode. And I think that's why they didn't do the Charlie Kirk one, because they wanted to go out with a bang.
yeah,
Like, because they knew whatever they did next, it has to be the one.
yeah,
well, I mean, they've done a lot to mock Trump. You know, they've done a lot. They've made him fuck Satan. They made
Mhm.
him get changed naked. They made his dick into a wiener. You know, they you know, like, my God, you know, they
Yeah, but
are
that
absolutely
was a
pounding on
little
him.
before he decided to go psycho and then go
yeah.
against
Now,
the First
now,
Amendment.
yeah. Now, whatever they do next, I guarantee you this is the last South Park. This is going to
The
be the last
last,
South Park, the last one. But Matt and Trey are laughing because they've got their money.
yeah,
They've
who
got their
cares?
1.5 billion, and so they don't give a shit. You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, we're gonna go out with a bang. We're not gonna go out with a whimper.
Mhm.
So yeah, if I was them, I'd just be like, ah, screw it. Let's just fuck it. Let's just have like Donald Trump getting unalived or whatever in South Park and all this kind of shit. Or
Mhm.
just be like, ah, fuck it.
But he
Um,
did say, I think it was on NPR, because that's our last news thing that's holding on, um, that he wants to get rid of anybody else that's talking about him and put people in jail. So that's literally, I
yeah,
can
it's
see that
fascism.
happening in
Yeah,
the next
it's
couple weeks.
oh, absolutely,
So
absolutely.
I don't know how far they want to take it. Yes, they have $1 billion, but like, is jail time worth it? Can you spend it in jail?
Just make the episode and then hop on a plane and get the fuck out of the country, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
Just go to Canada and be like, "Hey, buddy, fuck you." You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I mean, you're not going to get to enjoy those kind of shit. After that, there'll be total control over films, programming. They're going to end up like China, where you can
Yeah.
only do like certain things and you
And
can't.
that's going back to, I think, what Cheeto said earlier, is they're pitting the left versus the right. Like, the right needs to wake up and see that this is a slippery slope. Yes, Jimmy Kimmel is a leftist and he said something that wasn't even that bad, but like, as what happens if you say, God damn it, Trump, because he did something against you, like those people that were crying against that he was canceling and cutting Medicaid. Like, you voted for him, you tweeted that you didn't like that, and now you're going to be the one in trouble. Like, this is where we're heading, and they need to see that now, and not later. Because later it's too late.
It will get to the point where they're just going to be like, well, we've got rid of all the all our enemies, so we're just going to turn the guns inwards now. And oh, did you say damn? You showed a bit of skin. You showed your shoulders on TV. Get the fuck in jail. Cancel this show. That's where it's going to go. You know, and these fucking Nazis, these gripers, these gooners that are right-wing misogynistic donkeys are going to be like, oh, where the fuck boobs gone off of TV kind of thing, because they've taken it from games.
Yeah, they want to ban porn.
Yeah. Like MasterCard and Visa, who are run by a bunch of zealots, have crushed like adult gaming and, well, just any kind of fucking anything. So they're going to go after your games. They're going to go after your TV. You're going to have nothing left. You're going to be Taliban.
It's American football season here, and all you see is like gambling stuff, like those apps that you can gamble, like, oh, we're gonna get 10 touchdowns this game or whatever. I don't know anything about gambling, but they are those are still really pretty prevalent this year. So I don't know, because they're making, if you look who owns them, it's a lot of right wingers, and they're making millions.
Yeah, those will be there. They're not going to go because they don't. It's not about boobs. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So even though it's a vice that's illegal, and there was a reason why it stayed in Vegas and Atlantic City only, and there was no all of that, it was because the religious people, and it's the one thing I agree with, because I test gambling with a passion, because I've seen it destroy lives. And I've seen it, like, there are people that have great control and just bet, like, you know, a little bit here and there.
Yeah, that's me.
That's fine. But even that, I'll just, like, I would ban all.
I haven't made a bet in ages.
All gambling advertisement off of TV. I would shut down every single gambling outlet on the high street.
I agree. Because there's no beer commercials anymore. I was just telling Chris, I'm like, I'm sitting here watching this baseball game, and I have not seen one beer commercial anymore. It used to just be all like alcohol, and I don't have regular TV. I watch this live on Hulu or whatever. But there used to still be beer commercials, like Bud Light commercials or whatever, but now it's all gambling. Like every commercial,
all of it. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like just another way to say it. Give us your money. Just give us your, and it's an easy money grab because it doesn't really involve too many overheads for them.
Correct.
It's all like digital. It's all like Zan.
I actually agree, but as somebody who plays poker and who's somebody who likes to have a flutter, some of these some of this gambling stuff is ridiculous because they are promoting shit to kids as well. I mean, people who obviously can't really legitimately can't gamble yet. You know, like when for instance, when you watch when Arsenal Fan TV, there'll be a gambling promotion by Robbie. Like, go sign up to bet 735. That, you know, and I'm thinking to myself, mate, you're telling this to a whole bunch of fucking kids, you know, who can't even do this, you know. And then obviously you have the loot boxes thing with video game, which is a direction I don't want to go down to talking about. But you know,
in Borderlands, there, I don't know about 4 because we haven't played that yet. But in Borderlands, there's literal slot machines.
Yeah. I've seen that in one of the basketball games.
Yeah, the basketball game. Same company, 2K, as well. So it's it was the same publisher at the time.
They're trolling, you know, when they do shit like that.
Yeah.
You know,
so it's like they don't care about, as long as they're making money, that stuff can stay. But, you know, me sitting saying this is not right, that Trump is taking away our freedom of speech, he has a problem with that. That's the thing. Even though it's free, even though it doesn't cost him anything, it doesn't cost me anything, he's gonna start going after channels like me. Like, and it doesn't even make sense. And that's where we're at. They don't give a shit about the gambling. They give a shit about what we're saying. Because if we're gambling, we're staring at our phones. We're stuck. We're like addicted to being on our phones or playing that game or whatever, playing poker, whatever. That then they can do whatever the hell they want because we're not even paying attention anymore.
Exactly.
And that's what gambling has done to so many people. And
Yeah.
people gamble because they need to make money, and it's the world we're living in right now. People are taking a chance. They're having a flutter, hoping that they could double their money, triple their money. It's
So look,
unfortunate.
so in the UK, 1 in 5, that's 25% of young people, have participated in some form of gambling.
Does that include the free stuff in video games or?
So what they found is obviously that it starts in video games, and then once they reach the legal gambling age, it moves on to that. It escalates into that. So they are getting kids addicted to gambling, and then when they get disposable income, they're spunking it away. If they're not spunking it away on games as well, like we said, there was like a huge thing, and nothing's been done. Nothing's been done at all about the rise in children gambling in games, like microtransactions and all this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're at the point now where 1 in 5 is gambling under the age up to 21.
About 10 or 15 years ago, the Republicans were not okay with the loot boxes and stuff in video games. In some states, they passed a law that you have to have like your parents sign off on it every time you do it. But I don't know that stayed or if anybody's even actually watching that, as much as they should
God
be.
knows.
So
yeah, God knows.
Well, but the Republicans under Bush, they didn't like online poker and stuff like that and online gambling because at that time they were taking a lot of money away from the casinos.
Mm-hmm.
But now we live in a tech bro society. It's all flipped on its head. So the tech bros have got a lot more who own these gambling sites,
Mm-hmm.
as well as a lot of casinos actually invest in these gambling sites. They don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, they're not going to care. A lot of these companies that are losing Vegas, they're not going to care because they're online now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Vegas is dying. Like I think it was like a 60% drop in tourism in Vegas this year.
That's because they overpriced on everything and the Trump effect as well. But Trump is ruining tourism in America.
Yeah, we're overcompensating after COVID, and they ripped off the people, and then the Trump effect as well has basically meant Canadian tourism is all but collapsed, which were like the big kind of biggest group that attended like Las Vegas and all this kind of shit. And yeah, but those kind of companies are just like, oh well, screw it, we'll just go online then and fuck the casinos and fuck all this kind of stuff. And it's just like, if I'm a Vegas resident now, you've got to start replanning your whole economy because that era is dead. And online gambling is essentially going to kill it because you're like, do I go down to Vegas, get ripped off with resort fees and all this kind of stupid crap, or do I just get up an app and just do it that way? Simple as that. And there's just it's just too expensive. There's a guy, I think, Zam, did you send me the video of that guy that lives in Vegas? Yeah.
He's walking around Vegas and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. Vegas should be bustling. You know what I mean? With people, it's a sin city. It's a late night city. 1 a.m. should be like fucking 6 or 7 p.m. in most metropolises, and no, it's absolutely fucking dead. Yeah, and remember, like Vegas is a tourist city as well. So, like when it comes to the Strip and those areas, it's no different to Central London when it comes to Piccadilly Circus and all of that. Those areas should be bustling. You know what I mean? And Vegas is dead around those areas. Absolutely dead. You can see the bricks, you can see the walls, you can see the roads, you can see the footpath, but there's nobody on them. You know what I mean? There's nobody blocking them.
Well, that's even the same here. Like you go to McPherson Square, which is right in front of the White House. Now, like I could run across it, let my dogs loose on it now because there's maybe 10 people on it. It's crazy. This time last year, even it was full. There was all kinds of tourists. There was all kinds of everything. And now, like, I walked through the archives. I walked right up to all of the cool stuff at the seeing the Constitution and stuff. I walked right up to it because everybody's afraid to go out. No tourists are coming here. Like, it's just this is also a large tourist city. Everybody wants to see our Capitol buildings, and we have all these beautiful buildings. Like, there's nobody here. I can go.
Yeah.
I could get tickets to things that usually sell out in seconds. I could get them. I could walk up and get them, and it's not a problem anymore.
That's just crazy. But you might as well make the most of it then while you can. Then you know
Exactly.
what I mean.
That's why I was like, I'm going to see this morning. I don't care.
Next up, Disneyland. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody in Disneyland. We're breaking the rules of Vegas. We're not supposed to be talking about this, but we're not in Vegas. So the rule is what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. We're outside of Vegas. We're outside the jurisdiction where the rules apply. So we're okay. But you see, the thing is, like, next year is the World Cup, and one of the countries hosting it is America. And with things escalating to the point where they are now, God knows what's going to happen next year. Like, they're pressuring people now to say, oh, America should just not get the World Cup.
Correct.
Because they're not welcoming anyone at all.
They're not welcoming anyone, and nobody's coming.
Nobody's coming.
I wouldn't leave to go to London to see the World Cup because I'm scared of what's going to happen when I come back. And that's you guys are right wing.
Coming back is what you're scared of. My God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I had a woman in my car the other day. She was a Nigerian woman who's been living in Dallas, Texas for a long time. So she had a mixed accent, but you could tell, a lot of it was American. And she was worried about going back. I mean, and she also had to cancel her dual citizenship because she's Nigerian as well as American. But obviously Donald Trump has a problem with dual citizens, especially non-white ones. You know what I mean? I think Elon Musk is a dual citizen, so he gets the pass. But
rich, you get a
because
pass.
he gave him a bunch of money.
And white, and exactly. So coming back is a problem.
Like right now, if Chris and I wanted to visit Japan, even though Japan is safe, like theoretically, there's no really politics there. We're going to see video games shit. I don't know if we would get back in easily. Like, even though we're both citizens, even though we both have our passports from before when he was in, it's just better to not travel because we might not be able to make it home.
Yeah, that's scary. But the thing is as well, for like people going over there in the World Cup, I guarantee you there's going to be people getting arrested.
Yeah, just coming into the country, there'll be soccer players, football players, coming in that of course they're not, part of this country. Of course they're not. And they're going to be sent to customs and sent to prison and whatever. And it's like, they're here just to play a game. I heard some rumors of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra that is people from all over the world. They're scared to do their Christmas tour this year because they don't know what's going to happen, like.
We should boycott just on principle. Say just fuck it. Like, there's two places I always want to tick off my bucket list in America, and that is San Diego Comic-Con and Tennessee. Okay. I've done New York, I've done Boston, they were great, but that's the only two things I've got left. I don't give a fuck about LA, California. I don't give a shit. It's shithole. Nobody I know that's been there has enjoyed it, but that's not going to happen now. I mean, I look like that, but they're going to see the name on the passport. They'll be like, what the fuck is this?
Exactly.
Arabic? What is this kind of thing? You know what I mean? Because to nobody that doesn't know, my real name, just sounds like Arabic. Where it's just like, so it's like fuck America. Like, I ain't gonna go there now because bollocks to that.
No, for me, Ginger, like obviously things like going there and fans going there is bad enough because if you're like from Latin America or you're from Africa and African and Latin American teams will be in this World Cup, being a fan to attend it is going to be a problem. But let's just say many of these, for argument's sake, let's just say many of these fans get through, and let's say Ecuador plays Ghana you know, and there's a massive fan park, you know, they're all drinking under it, and then fucking Cletus comes along and sees all these Latin Americans and black people hanging about, having fun and shit. He'll probably think his country's being invaded, pull out fucking old Mary Sue AR-15, you know what I mean, and fucking go
No,
to
see,
town on those motherfuckers.
I know you always keep worrying about the mass shooting thing. For me, it's not that. It is just the border, at the border.
Yeah.
At the border, and then ICE raids during football games and all this. Because to them, it's not going to make a difference. Like, to them,
No,
they
they already said we could racially profile.
Yeah.
So
and
all
they
they're
can
gonna
make up
see
the
is
numbers.
brown guy. It doesn't matter if he's playing on the soccer team or not.
Yeah.
Look, whether it be a player, a fan, or whatever, I do feel, with considering, look, this is America we're talking about, the land of fucking mass shootings. You telling me there won't be one in the World Cup? You know what I mean? That you can't guarantee that.
Not among the players, maybe, but
No, not amongst the players. But I'm talking fan parks.
Where is it supposed
Fan
to be? Do we know what state?
No, you know, the World Cup is not like the Olympics, which is in the city. The World Cup is all over a country, so every country, all of America, mainly like the main parts of America, which are renowned for having soccer fields or whatever.
So then I would say it would depend on where you are. Like if you're in Texas, I would say a mass shooting is going to happen more there than in California.
Look, I don't think there'll be a game in Wyoming, for instance. But yeah, Texas, possibly Florida, even. You know, you got fucking Florida man everywhere. You know what I mean?
You've got right. Let's have a look.
It just sucks because all of the small businesses that would like thrive from a World Cup thing or the Olympics thing or whatever, all of them are gonna close. They're gonna close anyway, but like they would be making lots and lots of money. And it doesn't. It's
so here's the venues. So they have Seattle, San Francisco, LA, Kansas, Dallas, Houston. So Kansas, Dallas, Houston is where you'll probably get the mass shootings. Monterey, and then the other ones are like Guadalajara, Vancouver, Mexico City, Toronto. Then you got Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Atlanta.
So far, only the Texas ones.
There. What's that?
So far, only the Texas ones. You could have
Atlanta as well. I'll put
Texas ones, Atlanta, Miami. You probably get some shootings.
Atlanta,
there.
as much as they hate to admit it, is a black city. Like most of the population is black. So I don't. I mean, other than like maybe something bad happening and whatever. Yeah, I think you'd be fine there.
Okay.
It's once you get outside of Atlanta is the problem.
Yeah, but, oh my God, we're being invaded by foreigners. Here comes again, Billy.
Exactly.
We're gonna shoot up all these brown people. So, I'm just saying, like, if the decision could be made tomorrow, it'd just be like, okay, you know, fuck the United States. You could do it in Canada,
and that's what they should do because we did the same thing. We kicked Russia out of the Olympics. So why isn't the World Cup being smarter than? I know they are and doing the same thing.
No, they the FIFA.
They kicked Russia out of the World Cup, but they are not kicking out Israel.
Israel's still there. Azerbaijan is still there. You know, and people don't see the thing is like what annoys me again. People don't talk about Azerbaijan either, and Azerbaijan because it has close ties to America as well as Turkey.
They were on our base in Afghanistan.
What?
Azerbaijan were on our base in Afghanistan.
Oh, were they?
I don't know if you knew that, but
no. But I know they have close ties to the States. But they caused a massacre, a practical genocide in Nagorno-Karabakh, and they're still allowed to be in Eurovision and in the World Cup. Like they're pressuring now to kick Israel out. And the Eurovision committee has said you can either come in with a neutral flag or you're not allowed to participate. And I'm like, no, that's a coward response. Kick Israel out of Eurovision, kick them out of football, ban America from football as well, because it's
even Trump is pissed off at Israel right now. He said
England,
you know.
England should also be banned from sporting events. This is another thing that doesn't get talked about because, like I said, the United States, England, Israel, all three of them are complicit in the genocide because the UK flies spy planes, gives arms to Israel, and is as involved in the genocide as the United States and Israel. So even England should be kicked out of the World Cup. But FIFA aren't going to do that because, especially with England, forget it, mate. That's where all the money is when it comes to football. So, yeah. But for the World Cup hosting, it should just be Mexico and Canada. They've got the stadiums to do it.
Yes, absolutely. But then maybe because if you don't put pressure on America right now, we're going to turn into like a Russia kind of country. And then what? Like, look, Leo Bear, you see your friend Coco? But
get the cat on camera while she's staring. Look,
you see,
another cat. It's another cat. Doesn't give a shit.
Nope.
She's like, unless I can lick my vagina, I don't care.
But yeah, so unless we start putting pressure, it's just gonna another reason to let us keep getting worse and worse and worse. And the rest of the world is just letting us get worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, and football, like there's nothing America can do to the game of football to punish it in retaliation. It might take retaliation against the countries, but at this point in time, most of those countries are just looking at BRICS, the other kind of payment platform, the monetary platform. They're just like, yeah, I mean, we're going to head that way anyway, so you can't even impose sanctions on us.
Brazil, Russia, China, India.
South Africa.
But the funny thing with BRICS is that they were all in with Brazil. No, but they were all in it with Brazil when Bolsonaro it was during the time of Bolsonaro. Bolsonaro is now in fucking jail for pretty much for the rest of his life. Well done, Brazil, by the way. Congratulations on that. There's one country doing the right thing, So where's BRICS going to stand? I mean, is Lower going to still stand with BRICS? Regarding
I don't know with Lula because he blocked Venezuela from joining. You know what I mean? And Lula, like, although he went after Bolsonaro and got him jailed, he's still a fucking neoliberal. You know what I mean? He's still allowing the Amazon to get fucking hacked down. And, you know what I mean?
That's a shame.
So, yeah, I don't give a shit about Lula, to be honest. And he's kind of, I don't know what he's doing with BRICS if he's slowing down, but they don't need Brazil. There's plenty of other countries. You know what I mean? That could just join. Like, once a lot of African countries take control of themselves, they're doing a Burkina Faso, they have so much wealth. It's incredible. Like, the way, like, every other country on the planet just beats the shit out of that continent is just disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have everything, and yet they just can't, they can't be allowed to just be. So, but hopefully, let's see, with Burkina Faso doing what it's doing, hopefully more countries can follow suit. Even though I've been arguing with a lot of Africans because they ban homosexuality in Burkina Faso, and they're like, "Well, that's a Western ideal." I'm like, since when is gayness got anything to do with the West and colonies? You fucking idiots! It's just like,
because they were Christians at first. Maybe some of the very northern African countries, they weren't Christians at first, and Christians is usually where the idea of anti-gayness comes from.
Yeah. Christianity and Islam, that's where it comes from. And I keep saying to these people, I said, listen, you're sitting there banging on about God, and I'm like, that's your master's religion.
You guys were not that. Religion. You guys were worshiping the sun and other things. Like,
you had your own gods. Your gods were kind of similar to like Hinduism, related to like animals and nature. And now you're sitting there talking about Jesus and like Muhammad and all this kind of shit. Like, they're not your gods. They're not your. It's not your religion. They enslaved you with that fucking religion, and you're sitting there like talking about homophobia and being massively homophobic to the point where they make white people look fucking sane by comparison. Zam would tell you, like, every month, every time it's Pride Month and the Arsenal team puts the badge up, it's always the Muslims and the Africans that are in there just banging on about being the most homophobic shit. And I'm like, irony is dead on you. Because
Yeah.
that same hateful rhetoric you're using against a marginalized group, they use against you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, and Rick B.
yeah, and I just, so I was arguing with a lot of people about that. I'm like, Burkina Faso didn't even need to go there. They didn't need to implement that. They didn't need to. And I'm just saying, like, well, I'm just going to guess that Traore is gay then. That their president is gay and that's why it's implemented now. So your president's gay. So I've been pissing them off, getting blocked off of profiles for doing that. But I'm like, that's the only reason behind it.
Mm-hmm.
He looks gay. He probably is gay, but he's trying to say, I'm banning gays just to like make sure that you know that I'm not gay. Kind of thing. Other than that, I love everything else they're doing, except for that. They didn't need to bring in that policy. Ridiculous.
I hope Ghana is next because I don't know if you've seen the beach of Ghana with all the fast fashion. We wear these clothes for one day and then we donate them. Well, we're donating them to Ghana and they're trying to use them to sell, but they don't need any more clothes to themselves and to the neighboring countries. But there's a treaty that they've signed with the United States because they're like, we don't need any more clothes, but the United States is like, you said you would take our stuff, which is basically all garbage because it's fast fashion stuff. And so if they don't take if they stop taking the clothes and stuff, then they will not get some of the food and the other help that we send them. But they don't realize how powerful they are by themselves. Stop taking the stuff and then figure out your own shit. And then guess what?
Well,
you will be way better.
So, the Ghanaians we speak to over here are just sitting there going like, it's the leaders that are doing it. The people are like, we don't fucking need the Americans. Like, stop relying on the colonies. Like, they're fighting tooth and nail. They're kicking out the French military from Ghana. They're saying because like France always expects like fucking billions from these countries that everyone thinks, oh, they all got their independence. No, they didn't. They never got their independence because they pay reparations to the British and the French and all this kind of shit. But now the Ghanaians are just like, no, fuck you. We're going to do Burkina Faso, Nigeria.
I really hope so because like the Americans have destroyed their country with all of our
they're still doing it now. So once China started doing the Belt and Road Initiative, the Americans went in there and just started funding militias. That's why there's wars in Sudan and Kenya and Congo and parts of Nigeria and all this. That's the fucking Americans destabilizing the country so they can't do deals with the Chinese or take control of their own resources and all this kind of stuff. So like half of Africa is just on fire. And it doesn't get talked about enough. There's genocide in Sudan. There's genocide in the Congo. And the UAE is also the ones doing all the, funding the militias in the Sudan and all this kind of stuff. And nobody fucking talks about it. And behind the UAE, there's also the Israelis getting involved there. And it's a fucking mess, though. That poor continent. These people, and we live among them. Like here in London, there's literally like everywhere you are. If it wasn't for them, we'd have no care industry in the UK.
And that's here with the Hispanic people.
Yeah.
20 years ago, I was working with some Quakers, a Quaker group, and we were trying to spread the word about these African countries 20 years ago because I was 16 and I came to DC to talk about how all these countries need to get, use their own resources and do their own things. We had some African people from the different countries like Malawi and Mozambique and a couple other ones where they were like, we don't need you guys here anymore. So then I would explain to them like all of the debt is odious. It's bullshit. It's whatever, like we need to let them take their countries back. They're just because they were sun worshippers or whatever doesn't mean that they didn't know what the hell they were doing. You know, they were living like that for hundreds of years without us.
Yeah,
And
I think
I've been saying that for 20 years, and nothing has changed.
What do you reckon, Sam?
I don't know, but I'm doing my best. It's funny. I had a decent. I slept well this morning. I've had a day off today, which is a rarity for me.
Oh, you're
but
not
my brother
anymore.
No, well, my brother and my sister-in-law, they've come down. They've staying the night, and they're going to visit my nephew, their son, in Portsmouth tomorrow. So they've come down from Derby, staying here, and then they're going to go Portsmouth tomorrow. So I took a day off. You know, I had to clean the fucking house, as you can imagine. You know, I mean, my brother, like, he's like the sort of guy who come along with a fucking white glove and go, this is not good enough. You know,
Sounds like me.
So me and my niece, we were cleaning the house today, and you know, had dinner together and all of that sort of stuff, and yeah, back to work tomorrow. But still, I've had a decent day today, and I'm quite full on. I'm quite full on pizza. You know, when it comes to sharing food, like, you know, we never cooked anything, so you can't go wrong with pizza when it comes to needing something to share.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So.
Mhm.
So we've had some pizza, and my sister-in-law, she had some leftover homemade apple crumble. You know what I mean? So
You have custard with it.
Yes. You know what I mean? I'm not the type of guy who likes ice cream with my apple crumble. Give me custard every day of the week. If there is no custard, I'll take ice cream as an alternative. But I need some sort of sauce over it, you know what I mean? You know, whether it be custard or ice cream. But yeah.
Especially like piping hot custard over apple.
Yeah.
Good God, I'm fucking right now.
But the first sweet stuff I had in ages as well, you know. So yeah, but regardless, they'll be gone tomorrow. They'll be back on Sunday before they go back to Derby, and so yeah, just took advantage of today. But I'm kind of tired from cleaning the fucking house.
Is that the most you've had to clean in ages? Is it?
Well, I actually have a cleaner who comes every couple of weeks, and she does the job. But she's on holiday now. She cleaned my house 3 weeks ago, so she's been gone for a while, and she won't be back until October the 4th.
Bloody hell. That's a long holiday.
It's a long ass fucking holiday. Yeah, so so I've had to do a lot of the shit myself these last few days. So
Vance, we're just talking about sex. Nothing special. Don't worry. We use piping hot custard.
Don't you like piping hot custard, Daniel Vance?
Vance loves piping hot custard all over his face.
All over it. Yeah.
Then he would have liked all the semen that I saw earlier.
Oh yes, we saw lots. You posted a lot of pictures of semen.
You said
on Facebook. I was rather aroused.
What was that comment you made earlier about semen? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Because you didn't expect it.
Yeah. I stumbled into a lot of semen. Like, who says that? Yeah. Yeah, like, okay. Lucky girl. Very lucky. Yeah, I mean, so
yeah.
Cool. All right. What's to say about that?
On US politics, I know Zam has, but have you been watching Alien Earth, Winnie?
I'm 2 episodes behind, I think.
That's not too bad.
But it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's awesome. Loving it.
I love all of the aliens, even the bad ones, all of the predators, all of the Alien versus Predator. Like, I love all of them. Like, there's
really?
Even the bad ones are my favorite.
Oh, fair enough.
I think when it comes to Aliens and Predators, I think Aliens has kind of pipped it on some of the better stuff. I think the Predator film, I think Predator 1 and 2 is good. I think Predators with Adrian Brody is not too bad. You know,
it's okay, I mean? Yeah.
It's okay, but other than that, I think every other Alien, AVP 1, AVP 2, like my God, you can't see anything. It's all fucking dark.
Oh, Requiem was awful.
Yeah, and it annoys me because finally you got a different type of xenomorph. You got a predator xenomorph, and they ruined that, So yeah,
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So yeah. So I think the Predator franchise is really shit compared to Alien. But don't get me wrong, I want them to succeed because those initial films that got you into the gate were some of the greatest action films of all time. Alien 1 and 2 are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Predator 1 and 2 are amazing. Predator 2 kind of built the bridge between Aliens and Predator by showing a xenomorph skeleton in the Predator ship. So I want these. I want you want these franchises to see. No matter how many bad ones you get, whether it be Star Wars, Alien, Predator, whatever, Star Trek, if you want these to succeed because it was good at one point, and you want it to improve. So
the Predator one that was on Hulu was pretty good, or I don't know what it was on for you, but it was with the tribe,
the Native American one.
Yeah,
I
liked that one a lot.
I like it. Was okay. For me, it was okay. It was all right. What it was, I didn't like the Predator itself because the Predator was just killing animals. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's true.
Mate, like, that's not in the nature of the Predator. The Predator goes after people who have got weapons on them and shit like that. It doesn't fuck. Maybe unless it's eating the animal, then fair enough. But,
I feel like they didn't really have, too many weapons. They're spears or whatever, but
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed that one, but it's still the same premise. And so I'm looking forward to the new one that's coming out, where it just dives more into the lore of it. So it's a young predator guy. He's got to learn his ropes, learn to hunt on a planet where everything wants to kill you, and all this kind of stuff. And honestly, the thing what annoys me with Hollywood is they always feel they have to have like a human in there and all this kind of. I know it's like an android they got in there, which could be tied to like aliens. But for me, you don't need it. You just have the alien in there in a survival world, a bit like, just minimal talking, and just do subtitles when they're talking in their language and doing their lore stuff, and that's all you need. Like Aliens Earth has shown just how amazing and interesting that world is beyond the xenomorphs. The xenomorphs are an afterthought, and I hope that moving forward they're not going to sit there and think, oh well, we need to have the xenomorphs, and it's like, no, you have the eye thing, you have all these other fascinating creatures, but beyond the creatures and the aliens, you have the corporations and those wars. Even though how episode 7 kind of ended and the payoff with that was stupid, that's all I'm going to say. I don't know spoilers here. I'm just going to say it was a bit. What happened there was frustrating.
I don't mind the xenomorph coming back because it is alien, and a xenomorph, in my opinion, is part of the charm of this particular show. It always will be. I do feel that when you've got a bunch of people with machine guns, that tends to be the great equalizer to the xenomorph, but obviously not on this particular occasion.
No, this one seems bulletproof. They all seem bloody bulletproof in this.
Yeah, so
it's just like, for me, it's a bit like Predator. Like I don't really care about Predator hunting humans. I want to know about their lore. And with aliens, I don't give a shit about the xenomorphs. I want to know within that world.
More about everything.
Yeah, it's fascinating. It's dystopian. It's brilliant. And I did a rewatch of Blade Runner 1 and 2, because every couple of years I go back, and I hadn't watched Blade Runner 1 for like 20 years.
How can you keep doing that?
Your tastes kind of change. You know what I mean? So I rewatched that. I fucking still hate Blade Runner. The first one is shit. Yeah. I hate it with a passion. I don't get the hype. The only good thing about it were the visuals and the music. Everything else fucking sucks. But Blade Runner 2048, which I didn't watch when it came out, is fantastic. It's brilliant. I love it.
Is it more of an action movie?
There's because it's a Denis Villeneuve film. It's not like action packed, but the action that does happen in it is good. But it's the investigation of it and how it unfolds. And even though it's a predictable kind of outcome, it's still brilliantly done, and yeah, I absolutely love it. Like if you haven't watched it, watch the second Blade Runner. It's fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you guys read? Like read
read.
books?
Do I
Like
Yeah.
look like I
novels?
read? Look at me. I read comics. Yeah.
Okay, so there's this book called Providence. It's by Australian author Max Berry, but it's about these like astronauts that like we're cheering them on, and they're going out into the universe and killing aliens that we think are gonna hurt us.
Oh, it's
But
a bit
like I don't
Starship
want to tell
Troopers.
the whole
Just
thing.
like Starship Troopers.
Kind of, but it's more serious and more like he always has like an art like a commercial kind of bent because he hates the 1% and all of that stuff. But
Oh, cool.
um,
What's the name
yeah,
of the author?
Max Berry. So
Max.
his first book was called Jennifer Government, and everybody's last name was like my name would be Winnie McDonald because the McDonald's Corporation is sponsoring me to live, sort of thing.
Oh, I see.
But so in all of his novels, they're not all that specific, but in this one, they're going to space, but like the government is like cheering, like having us cheer them on. It's like really dystopian, gross, like, yay, go kill these things, but these things are not even bad that we're killing. We're just trying to wipe out the universe.
Yeah. So
Daniel
it's a
Vance
great
recommends
allegory for
watching Black Rabbit. I might give that a shot. Actually, it looks like a cat and mouse sort of thing. By the way, watch
I'll be watching
Butterfly
that.
on Amazon Prime. It's very good.
Okay.
You know, I mean, no, it's good. It's good. I don't think it's very good, but it's got that Daniel Day Kim in it, who finally is getting a lead role after all these years of playing supporting roles.
He
And the guy's
produces
like,
it. That's why he's the executive producer.
the guy's also in his like late 50s. He looks amazing for his age.
Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense. Thanks,
But
Vance.
it's a lot of fun. By the way, Daniel also told you to watch Predator. Winnie to talk.
I've seen it. It's also good.
Yeah, I like.
I
the
didn't
first
like
couple
it.
of stories.
I'm
Yeah.
someone who if she likes one thing in it, she's always gonna like it. So it doesn't even matter if it's good or bad. I just feel like I'm getting more of the story, you know.
I didn't like the final. I didn't like the end of the story. Like I didn't. It was a bit bollocks for me, like how it ended. The new Xenomorph is an enforcer based on its coloring. The skin was beefier and withstand small kind of an enforcer.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
there's different types of like aliens and all of that. So that's the enforcer type. All right, I didn't know that. I'm not too big on my aliens lore because I only like the first two films.
Well,
But
look, we've got three different types of xenomorph, as far as I'm concerned. We've got the one from pretty much every alien film, which is anything that's born from humans. Then in Alien 3, we got a xenomorph that was born from a dog, which was different. And obviously
Yeah.
the Predator is xenomorph from AVP2. So that's the only xenomorph. And I want to see more variety of xenomorphs. I want to see xenomorphs from other creatures, other species. You know, I want to see and like I said, I know they've made out that facehuggers can't attach themselves to androids, but somehow give that android some warm blood or some heat or whatever, and make that facehugger attach itself to the android and see what the fuck pops out. It's,
Hey,
I said
if
before,
we've
it's
learned-
fiction.
if we've learned
Yeah.
anything from Hollywood, is never fucking say never.
Mhm.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That's the kind of stupid shit, no offense, that Ridley Scott would have fucking done, because he just made shit up as he went along, the fucking idiot. But I wouldn't be against it, an Android Xenomorph, fucking, yeah, bring it on, why not? You know what I mean? It's not exactly a franchise to take too serious. So I'd be all for that.
I also want to see that movie, The Long Walk.
Stephen King.
Stephen King's book.
Isn't that Lord of the Rings?
It looks.
No.
It looks. So when I first saw it, like, because I've read the book, it looks cheesier than the book. So I'm kind of nervous about if it's gonna be cheesy and not done right.
Reviews have been solid for it. So hopefully, but it'd be good to get your insights then, because you've seen as you've read the book.
I love Stephen
Yes.
King. I love horror in general.
I just don't think a lot of Stephen King books have been adapted well onto the big screen. Like some of
Hardly
them
any of
are
them
really
have done
bad.
well.
The Tommy Knockers is awful. Have you seen the Longer Lears? Oh my god, that's awful. you know, like and even though the concept, you can see there's a really good concept in these. I think the best one is probably Misery. Some people say
Yeah.
Oh god, the one with Jack Nicholson. Why is its name escaping
Oh, The
me
Shining.
Yeah, The Shining.
now?
Yeah,
Yeah. I am not the biggest fan of The Shining. I think it's a load of
No.
bollocks.
it's
You know what I mean?
okay.
Not a
The
fan of
one,
it.
the one that I
Love
liked,
Misery.
which is also not great, was Dreamcatcher in 2003, I think, or
Oh, that was
2004.
awful.
It was not great, but it wasn't the worst of all of them. So
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that. Like Jason, the way Jason Lee dies, what an idiot! Like,
yeah,
really? There's a big creature in your toilet, and you're gonna reach for your toothpick? You fucking idiot! Stupid.
Can't think of
But that's the
can't
only
think of
memorable part of that film is the way he dies. You know what I mean? Like,
the Tim Curry fucking awful. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
oh no, I
Some
like
of
that. But then
the
I,
Tim
I
Curry
watched
one.
it when I was a kid, so I haven't watched it since.
Yeah,
So if I
watch it as
rewatch
an
it, I'll
adult.
probably do
It's
shit.
different.
Yeah,
The
it has
original-
not aged. It hasn't aged well. The remake is actually a lot better.
Yeah, with
It's
what's his name? James McAvoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
they were good.
fantastic in anything, though.
Yeah, they were great.
Stand by Me, I believe, is a Stephen King book.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
brilliant.
that was great. Yeah, that was
Stand by
great.
Me
That's
is
the
brilliant.
best one, actually. That's
Yeah,
the
Stand
best.
by Me is really good. How can you hate The Shining? Mate, it's
No,
not.
I didn't hate it. It was just meh.
I don't think it's as good as people want it to be.
I
Like,
think
you know,
you should. Hi, Adam. I think you should watch it again as an adult, like sitting where you're sitting. It's
it's a
not the
glorified
same.
haunted house. Dreamcatcher rocked. But you don't like 2001. I never said that. I appreciate 2001. I prefer 2010. I think 2010 is a lot better. Hello nerds. Hello donkey. Okay. I've just started watching. I said Gen V. By the way, Gen V is so good. Like the opening episode, you had these. I'm giving away some spoilers now. You
I
had
don't
like
give a shit.
you had a
Spoiler,
flashback.
Gen V spoilers. If you haven't watched Gen V spoilers in the chat,
Gen
I
V
think I
spoiler for
tried to
season
watch
2.
it, but you know
it was
me.
CW bollocks, man. It was fucking awful.
It's not CW at all, dude.
But that's kind of what it felt like to me too.
Yeah, that's what it
So I
felt
didn't
like.
get past the very first episode.
Yeah.
No, because there's so much more crossover with the boys in this one. Starlight has a big part to play, and the Deep is in it. But like in this flashback episode scene, you see the scientists taking V Blue, which and they inject themselves with it, and they all get fucked up in various ways. Like one of them has tentacles coming out of his asshole and shit like that. It's just it's so like it's that goriness of the boys and Gen V that that you really like, but there's a lot of gore in it. And I really do like it. I think that the characters in Gen V, they're a bit more. Some of the like student characters are a little bit more wholesome, but the rest of the student characters are fucking assholes. And like I said, this series resembles more of real life, which is probably the most upsetting thing. It's not parodying anything anymore. This is the world we fucking live in, and this series
Is
feels
it
like
different
it.
to the
Okay,
first?
then also I've got
series.
another book by the same author. Max Berry has this book called The Machine Man, and they're literally in this corporation who are letting them do the same thing. They're testing on themselves. This guy basically becomes a cyborg, and they're cheering him on. It's the same sort of thing. You'd probably like that too.
Yeah. Well,
No, but no, Daniel Foss, I disagree on the scene because in sororities in universities within America, they do shit like drinking beer through their asshole, But this guy's a fucking soup, so he does it like it's not an issue, which is what adds the twist to it. because these are all superheroes. Also, sorry.
But yeah,
people
that's
with-
usually college students using like soaking tampons in vodka and then using them.
Still like
some of
just
this-
dumbed down, like compared to like the boys. I tried. I did 3 episodes and I was just like, yeah, this is
Look, the problem with season 2. Look, not the problem with season 2, but you're gonna have to watch season 1 before you get. There's no point in watching
no.
season
Just
2.
go for the recap. I'm not gonna watch season 1.
Because at the end of season 1, what happens is that sort of like there is like a divide between some of the main character superheroes or superhero students, and the ones who tend to be the one who are the good ones. They end up being put into a prison, like a student prison at the end, and the other one, and like Homelander, he comes in at the end and stuff like that. And then season 2 begins with those students who have been put in prison. They get taken out and they get given another shot by going back to university. And the character of Chance, who died in real life, the actor, they didn't recast him. They just had his character be killed off screen. He died in prison or something like that.
That's
so
yeah.
I
think that's the best way to do it. It's in keeping with the story, and that's the best way to respect somebody, is just to have them still be involved within the story, and you don't want to recast them. Same like they did with Chadwick Boseman. You know what I mean?
I found it really funny, like at times, like obviously it's that boys gross out humor, and it's in this as well. But I think by calling it CW, you're doing it a disservice. There's nothing CW about it.
If there was, though, I wouldn't say if there wasn't, though. Like it just the way the characters were written, the way they acted like a bunch of fucking mopey little pricks. It's just reminiscent of every CW show, and
that's kind of how
I gave up on it. I was like, this isn't the boys. This was given to people that only watch the boys and don't really know the boys, and just like, here you go, take over. You do your version of the show. That's what it felt like. So I just gave up on it. I don't really care about it. You know what I mean?
No, but for me, you can feel that there is a connective tissue with the boys. It doesn't just feel like a spin-off, and it's just okay, we're gonna do our own thing. Regardless of being in the same universe as.
It's always felt connected. That's not my issue.
Yeah,
it's bad. It's just not
like there's a really clever joke regarding the Deep, because the Deep, he's a fucking idiot. Yeah, so he's been like this high school sorority sort of leader for like the last 7 years. The reason he's being in the last 7 years, he was too stupid to graduate. So he's always been there. That was a joke, but I thought it was kind of funny because Deep is a fucking idiot. So yeah. But
that's what makes him one of the more interesting characters. He's such a fuck up.
Yeah,
but the thing with me as well, when you like Gen V, when you see that, when you saw the comic and then you saw that, I'm like, what a huge fucking just absolute relegation. Because Gen V, the comic was hilarious. It was just basically like X-Men, but everything was just fucking ramped up to 11 in terms of the insanity. And just like the absolute just arseholeness of it. But this one was just like, it just felt like generic, just like every other bloody show you see on TV. So I just couldn't be arsed with it. I might give season 2 a try. If it's I'll never say never. I'm not going back to series 1, but season 2 I might give it a try.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm liking it so far, and I will do a review of the season because there's so much on our plates right now, and sometimes I feel like a little bit burnt out. Life is just making me burnt out at times, having to do and I like to do random reviews and stuff. Like I just recently watched after watching the movie with Denzel Washington, I forgot what it was called. Flight, I think it was called, the one where he plays a pilot. I watched something similar to that called Sully.
With Tom Hanks.
With Tom Hanks, yeah, and that was also really good. Actually better than the Denzel Washington film. I really enjoyed it. And it being kind of based on a true story was also really good because this flight when it crashed in the Hudson, It happened in 2009, only 8 years after 9/11. So it was a bit just to see all these New Yorkers coming.
Was it already been since 2009?
Mm-hmm.
It happened in 2000. No, the film came out in 2015, 16, but the actual real life incident happened in 2009.
Oh, it's been that long already.
So, one of these sort of like heartwarming things was like seeing all these people who worked on the coastlines, all these fishermen, all these garbage boats, all these tour boats, whatever, all just coming to the plane to rescue everyone and all of that, and how Sully did rescue everybody. Like he saved all those people's lives, and all that. It was a really,
we know the story when it happened because it was incredible. Like,
yeah. But just to see it more played out and fleshed out, and how at the same time you still have people in the corporate world who wants to blame the hero and make him the villain. They're trying to like pin this on Sully, even though he had no choice but to land it in the Hudson. It was it's a really good film. I recommend it. I was going to review it, but I was just too fatigued.
Mate, you didn't realize you don't have to review everything you watch.
No.
You literally review everything you watch. You should review what your bird's at as well, just for the fun of it.
No tube for life, baby. No tube for life. So
yeah.
Donkey. Sorry. Haven't seen Gen V. We didn't care for season 4 of The Boys, and then we'll see. Season 4 is good, man. You need to watch season 4. I don't understand you. I'm gonna say I don't understand you, white people. You need to fucking watch what's happened before and connect that fucking shit together.
Stop
being a fucking watch season 4. Watch season 1 of Gen V.
I am watching season 1 of I got to 3 episodes. It's enough.
Watch season 4 for fuck's sake, and stop making me so fucking triggered. I'm so fucking triggered.
That's it. I'm just gonna get Gary on screen next to eat a curry.
Oh god. I don't know. Honestly, Ginger, next time you and Gary come down to London, you're obviously in London. When Gary comes down to London, I'm taking you both to my aunt's house. Yeah. And then we're gonna eat at my aunt's house. And if Gary pulls that shit, and by the way, you don't fucking say shit to me. Yeah, I'm gonna, you keep your mouth shut and eat that food. Yeah. If Gary fucking does any of that,
quiet man. It's you two that talk on the meeting.
No. But you kept telling me, leave him alone or that. No.
Yeah. Leave him alone.
No. Now you leave me alone. Yeah. And I'm going. Okay. Yeah. He's gonna go there.
When I eat spicy stuff, I get like this big rash around my mouth, plus really bad heartburn. So like,
damn.
It's not
okay.
fun.
Well, you're excused from eating the spicy stuff, but
Gary's
going to get the full abuse of an Indian man. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh no, he's going to get the full abuse of my fucking auntie.
Yeah,
because when I would go back in the day, I would go to my aunt's house or whatever for dinner, and as we're doing right now, I like to have a talk and eat at the same time. And she'll go to me, less talking, more eating, and that stuff like that would piss me off. But now I understand after watching Gary. Because that fucker wasn't doing any eating. It was like one bite, put it down, and not eat anything for another 5 minutes. Like, no, motherfucker, you keep eating. You don't let this fucking food cool down. You keep fucking eating. And you eat it the right way. You don't fucking eat the naan bread on its own. You fucking dip it into that curry, and you fucking eat the naan bread covered in it.
Zam like literally nearly had a heart attack. Like, how he didn't launch a table across the restaurant.
Look, you can come if you fucking denounce white supremacy and stop being a pick me. Yeah, if you can stop being a pick me, then you can definitely come. I mean, you have to fucking do a full 180, Rick B, and then you're fucking allowed. Then you shall pass.
Stream this,
and then you and me meet up at an AW event and hurl racist abuse that non-whites, Rick B.
Yes. But yeah, like
string Gary in a curry, and Zam's auntie abusing him,
and like,
and then Gary joins Reform afterwards as a result.
But I just want to say like here, us Indian people, we don't eat spicy food as a pissing contest. spice is just
You eat
a
the food to
flavor.
enjoy the food. Yeah.
Yeah, we enjoy.
It's white people that, like me, that
Yeah.
eat it for a pissing contest.
Yeah, it's like what's the spiciest thing on the fucking menu? All this sort of shit. You know what I
In
mean?
America,
Like,
I don't know if you knew this. They had we have these Doritos, but they weren't Doritos, but it was one chip challenge.
Yeah, the one
And
chip.
it was
Yeah.
like the spiciest thing in the whole world. And it was like, that's it. It was a pissing contest.
Yeah, it was all right. I've had one of those. They're okay. They're not that spicy. I'm joking. That's a lie. I've just completely lied there. I've never tried it.
But
I hate, like, of all the spicy things in the world, I hate spicy crisps. I hate them. Crisps should not be spicy at all. Not even a hint of spice. I don't know what it is, but it kills me. It, like, if they're a little, it's the combination, whatever chemicals they put in it, absolutely burns my mouth. And I don't like spicy crisps.
Daniel Vance.
But I love all my other, I love anything else like spicy. Not like blow your ass out spicy. Even though I've done a couple of those, but I do like a bit of spice.
See, I was always taught, especially if you were to take me to your aunt's house to eat or something like that, you just deal with it until you're not around those people anymore, and then you go eat whatever the hell you want to eat. That's it.
No, but you'll like the food that you're given, and I keep saying to a lot of people that I think a lot of people underestimate what sort of spicy food they can eat because once again, sometimes they're around the wrong people who only eat spicy food as a pissing contest. We're not doing a pissing contest, you know. The food, it has got spice in it, it's got a kick in it, but it's not going to fucking kill you. You know, I'll be shocked if it gives you a rash because we're not trying to burn people's palates off. You know, it's not how we operate. You know, it's
right.
People get the wrong idea. Like it's different for us. When I watch stuff like Man versus Food and shit like that, and everything seems to be a spice competition, it's not like that. In our family's household, it wasn't even like that at the restaurant I took you to, Ginger. You know,
You're talking to the wrong person. I'm not the pissing contest person. You know what I mean?
No, but you know what I mean regarding the level of spice in that food. It wasn't unbearable. It was average. You know what I mean? You know, it was flavor.
Like the spiciest stuff is just reserved for the white people. Now they're the only ones that kind of go for that, or if somebody's suffering with constipation, they'll go for the spicy stuff to kind of help irritate the bowel. Am I wrong, Sam?
Yeah, I mean, I can see them doing that, but I never thought to myself, okay, I'm gonna eat some really spicy food so I can get the shit out of my ass. I never thought of it like that. But I do understand that it does make sense, and I agree with you there.
I you know, my one of my exes, she suffered from constipation. I was like, don't worry, mate, I got the cure for that. Vindaloo, fucking cleared her right out. Vindaloo and figs. No problems.
Look,
not
like,
together.
Like for instance, you. I'm not sure if you met us. No, my cousins, Icelandic sons, who are twins and stuff.
Oh, just for their awesomeness on GTA. That's the only I've met them through
they came, and then what they wanted, you know, because they're like, you know, they're men. You know, they pump iron. They got amazing physiques. One's a boxer, one's a kickboxer. So they're in great shape, but they're also like manly man. We got to do manly man things, yeah. So they come. I take him to the same restaurant we went to, and they want fucking vindaloo. And I had some of their vindaloo, and my mouth was like, "What the fuck?" Like, my taste buds are totally neutralized. No, this is not fun. I'm not enjoying this. The food shouldn't be. I shouldn't be eating a curry that it burns my fucking taste buds off. You know what I mean? This is not how I like to eat my spicy food. This is bullshit. But for them, pissing contest, we're manly men. You know what I mean? Fucking hell. So yeah.
Yeah, you get you know, that's what you do. Some of my Geordie mate, I don't know what we called him Geordie, but he was from Durham. It's completely fucking, you know,
close enough.
Yeah, but it's close enough. Same old. And so we went to the Indian restaurant around the corner from us in Ealing. When we was living in Ealing, and was like, give us the hottest thing you got in the menu, and it's like, it's the file. It's like, yeah, give us that.
Yeah, the file, fucking hell.
Jesus Christ, I've never known such pain in my life. I thought my head was going to explode, but I'm not a quitter. And the guy was like, if you finish the meal, you get 20% off. So all your students, you're like, yeah, I'll take that 20% off. So after I had like a moment in the toilet, I didn't throw up or anything. I was just in the mirror, just like washing myself, like steam coming out my ears. I was like, right, fuck this, Geordie. Grab the beer, neck to beer, grab the curry. Just pain, tears, sweating, everything. Finished it. Thought, yes, we've done it. Brilliant. Next day was even worse. Because when it came out, my poor ring, I literally screamed. All you can hear is, because that was the worst part of it. The eating it was painful, but the coming out part, I gonna be graphic here, but I had an ice cube up there to cool it down.
Oh my god!
That's
After that, I was just
why.
like, why did I do that? That was just fucking stupid.
Another reason, like even today, like my brother, he bought a pizza and he bought Americana and it had jalapenos on it. Yeah, and I, without even a second thought, I removed them because it's not like I can't handle it, but I can't have the sensation of a burning asshole needing to shit all the time the following day. And considering, but it does happen to me. Jalapenos do that. They destroy my backside, and not only that, but because I drive a cab for a living, I cannot have the sensation of needing to take a shit whilst I'm fucking driving. You know what I mean? Because on a couple of occasions, I
totally understand.
There's only one place I shit when I'm in this country, and that's in my fucking house. Yeah, correct. I hate shitting.
I'm the same way.
I don't like shitting in public.
I'll go anywhere, mate. I don't care.
Yeah. So
when I was in the building game, I used to dig holes in the garden and go there. If there was no toilets on the building site, you just had to go.
I've finished work for the day because I need to go for a fucking shit. You know what I mean? So yeah. So
I used to wait in line and be at concerts for like 15 hours, and I could hold it the whole time.
What?
I'm not kidding. We'll go to like today in DC. I was there for probably 7 hours. I didn't go.
Yeah, wait till you hit your 40s
in the morning.
I peed before I left and did whatever else. Then I got home. I took a shower and then I got on here.
Yeah, but wait,
2-3 times a day.
wait till you hit your 40s. Then you'll realize those muscles are not as strong as they once were. You know what I mean? Like me,
especially for the bladder.
I knew it.
Yeah,
weirdo.
You can put it in my house.
You can put it in my house. I've got a water spray, so you'll be clean right in the rain. Yeah, I mean, you need to wash it all off. You need to wash all those particles. You know what I mean? You need to wash it all off, and then you
100% donkey.
Yep, I make 100%. They make $1, I make a dime. That's why I
best food is on the company dime.
Yeah, well, donkey. I'm self-employed cab driver. When is it company time for me? Because I don't have that luxury.
If you had to drive and you were staying sort of close to home, then I guess you could stop. I guess.
Still, it's been always for me. It's been go all the way home. You know what I mean? I've done it, and I would like try to. I would put myself on break, or I'd log out or whatever, so I don't get any customers. And I would then try to play something on YouTube or whatever, something to keep my mind off it. But then as soon as you get home and you see your front door, all of a sudden the pressure just builds regardless. There's nothing you can do about it. And you're running, you're fucking taking your belt off and your trousers off and you're fucking running there. And then the turtle head's already coming out before you sat on the fucking seat. You know what I mean? And then
there has been times, because I only poop about once a week, but there's been times where after that 15-hour shift, I'm like in my front yard because it's midnight or something, and I'm like taking all my underclothes off because I usually wear skirts, and I'm just peeing in the front yard. I lived in the sticks. Nobody could see it anyway. So.
Fair enough.
Now, peeing is different. I've pissed everywhere. You know what I mean? I fucking pissed everywhere.
Women have to sit on the toilet regardless. You can get one of those Kiwi things. They don't actually work. They make the biggest mess.
Yeah, do they really? They don't. You discover what it's like having a hose.
Yes.
first few years, and I stopped doing this because I thought it was a bit stupid, which is why I stopped doing this. But I actually was keeping a log, not literally
log.
not literally.
I'm not even-
But I because of my job, I was always going to public toilets for a piss, and I was actually filming every pub. Like take a picture of every public toilet I went into.
Oh, I see.
And-
Right.
And some of these places, like some of these public toilets, were actually they look like somewhere like maybe crackheads would hang out, and other
Yeah.
public toilets they were like luxury personified. You know what I mean? If you're going into like expensive hotels or whatever, it's like wow, this place is I want to fucking move into this fucking toilet. It's so amazing. You know what I mean? But yes, and I did that for a few years, but then I stopped doing that. You know, but I wish
Poor
it's
sad
amazing because.
log.
No, because it's funny way because after doing this job now for 12 years, I would have had thousands of pictures of all these different toilets I've been.
Weird.
Yeah.
You get arrested at the airport. They're like, "What?
What
What
the
pictures
hell?
of toilets you
No,
see?"
but with Terminal
Someone
5,
in there.
Terminal 5, Terminal 3, Terminal 2, I would only have to take the picture once. It's not like I would do it every time.
Yeah.
Right, but still.
Every new toilet I would go into, like I pissed in Claridge's, you know what I mean, which is Gordon Ramsay's restaurant. I've gone to some of these like really exquisite, countryside manor park sort of hotels which are really exquisite and high market. And I always tell them, look, I've just done this long journey. I just need to piss before I fuck off. And they go, okay, no problem. And they let me go inside and go for a piss. And you think, wow, this is amazing. This is like,
See, Claridge's is different than like his fish and chips restaurants here because they're like fast food. You might get a different thing.
But then you go into like public toilets that are in like public parks or whatever, and you think, Jesus Christ, like what is going on? Like there's water, like there's already like a water level which is like maybe 2-3 millimeters high.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? And like, as soon as you're walking in there, you're thinking, shit. Make sure your trousers are proper pull up. You don't want anything getting
because they'll touch.
And all of that sort of stuff.
We have porta johns like that.
I've taken a dump in the Saudi prince's house on Montpellier Square, where they filmed Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Where they split the the fifth one, Phoenix, whatever it's called. When they split the houses, and that's that house in the middle. Two houses down from that. That's the Saudi prince that owns that house. I took a nice shit in that house, and that's why I was like, that's all you heard from me in the cinema during Order of the Phoenix. I was like, oh, that's Montpellier Square. I took a shit in that house.
No, I think I have OCD and going to the bathroom, like if I absolutely have to, if I know that I'm going to be able to come home and take a shower soon. Like, I think it's because I've had too many like experiences where the water level's too high or somebody pissed all over the seat and you sit down in it because it's America and we don't pay our electric bills or change light bulbs. So you sit down in it praying to God that it's not wet. So then now I'm just like, I'm just going to
get some tissue paper and give it a quick wipe just for the sake of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like the other day, I was absolutely bursting, but I'm drinking more coffee now, especially at night time, and coffee really fucking hits you in the bladder. And I had to pick up somebody from Heathrow Airport, but I needed to go for a piss first, and I couldn't make it to the airport, so I stopped off at the service station, and I'm thinking to myself, please, toilets don't be out of order, don't be out of order. It said the toilets were out of order. I thought, fuck it, I don't care. I went straight for the door. Yeah, the toilet looked fine. Everything looked fine. But regardless, I still pissed in there anyway, you know what I mean? And I got out. And there are a couple of times where it says out of order, but you can still open the door and get inside. You know what I mean? And I do what I have to fucking do.
I wonder if they say that sometimes because they don't feel like cleaning it later.
Yeah, a lot of places do that. They just be like, oh, come on. Put it as out of order, one less toilet.
I never thought of that. That's a really good point.
Yeah. The worst one for me was, even though it was hilarious, even when it happened, it was just after COVID, but the toilets were still closed everywhere. Like the public toilets were still closed. I'm shopping in Tesco, and halfway through Tesco, you get that urge. You're like, oh
Mhm.
shit, but you got a trolley full of food, and you're like, I'm not going to stop now. So I'm waddling along, doing my best to kind of forget it, and it's like building up. I make it. I get, do my shopping, get in a car, get home, get through the front door, thinking, oh, thank God, I made it. I tripped on the first step, and it all just came out.
Oh my God.
All came out. And you would think I've been mortified, but I'm sitting there with shit, there. Thankfully, nothing escaped. I'm laughing my head off because all I can think of is this is just the comedic timing is perfect. Yes, I made it. And then you just calamity kicks in and you trip over the stairs.
At the last second.
And it's my fault because I never ever wear my shoes in the house. So I take them off as soon as I get in the house. But because I was desperate, I ran up, and because I didn't judge the height difference with the shoes, that extra millimeter, that's what did it for me.
I had a poo in a prawn cinema. I think you mean porn, but I know what you means.
In Amsterdam, and blocked the toilet. My man.
Oh boy.
My man. I knew I liked you for a reason.
The only thing I remember is it was in my 20s, so when you're drunk and stupid, and I wasn't even really that much of a drinker, but my friend, it wasn't me, it was my friend who sat on one of those porta johns where it doesn't go anywhere. It's just a big tank. And it was dark, and he sat down and his sack got into the water. And I'm just saying that it's water because I don't.
That's
I'm like,
oh my
God. That was like I didn't want to be near him. I didn't want to touch him, and he's just like trying not to cry. He's like this big 6-foot burly man, and he's like, I want to die.
Oh God! Yeah, that I actually hate when I've experienced that.
No.
Yeah, I've experienced that because a certain toilet with, regardless, when you're abroad and stuff like that, that's when you got no choice but to poop abroad, and sometimes it's weird with the water level, like the regard to the toilet. Sometimes they're right down there, sometimes they're all the way near the fucking top. It's weird. And then I've had my sack touch the water, and that's the worst feeling ever. as well as the Neptune kiss. You ever had a Neptune kiss?
No, I don't know what that is.
You don't know what a Neptune kiss is?
No.
It's when you take a dump and then the water splashes up and it hits you right in the arsehole.
That has happened to me, but I only do that in my own house, which is still disgusting because the toilet's a toilet, but it's better than
Neptune kiss. Now you know.
When I was up in South Shields, everyone's sitting there like complaining about gender bathrooms and all this kind of stuff. Up north, it just doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Like men and women, they'll just burst into like use toilets wherever they could go. Anyway, I've used the toilets and I'm washing my hands, and this girl, she's just plops herself right on the sink while I'm washing my hands to do a wee.
What?
She's just like, I really need to go, and there's nowhere else to go, so I'm gonna piss. Yeah. I was like, okay, well, I've washed my hands, love. I'm just turn the tap off for you, and you carry on. I give her some tissues and all of this kind of shit. They don't care up there. It was like the Wild West. I loved it up there.
I used to do stewarding, things like Wembley Stadium, Wembley Arena back in the day, and there was a Five Nations rugby match happening at Wembley Stadium. I think it was Republic of Ireland versus Wales. Yeah,
that's how old that is. It's Five Nations. You know what I mean?
So, but this is weird because this game's happening at Wembley. Yeah, but so it's a neutral ground, which is a bit weird.
What's happening at Wembley? There must have been. Were they building Twickenham at the time? Probably.
Possibly not Twickenham. Maybe the Millennium Stadium. I don't know. At the time, I don't know, but
well, because normally in London it's not. They never use Wembley at all. It's only Twickenham.
Yeah.
So it must have been going for renovations.
Well, it was half time. Yeah, and like the thing with these fucking footballs back then, this was the old Wembley, not the new Wembley, by the way. Yeah. and like they just never make enough room for 80,000 people to go to the fucking toilet. So it hit half time, and all of these Irish and Welsh fans just in one massive circle around the inner perimeter, just were all fucking pissing. You know, all of it. And then I had the security guards and the high end stewards telling me to
You
stop
love it,
them.
Donkey.
They're telling me to stop they're telling me and the other stewards, stop these people. What am I gonna do? These guys are burly fucking fans. Yeah, and they're in the middle of a fucking. What am I supposed to do? Grab their dick and put it back in their pants whilst they're in mid flow. You know what I mean? No. Like,
Grab that dick. Oi, put that away.
you know what I mean? So like, no. But
Literally, Donkey,
it's just
literally.
the aftermath, because there's like thousands and thousands of people have just done a massive circle piss around the perimeter of fucking Wembley Stadium. Yeah, and it's
Is the
fucking
match
piss.
called off for a waterlogged pitch?
No. It's funny, but the point is like this, like after this fucking piss everywhere. You know what I mean? It's everywhere. You know, there's more wet spots than there is dry spots, because funny as fuck.
Go.
But the England fans would never abuse Wembley like this. This was because they were Welsh and Irish fans, and they didn't give a fuck. You know, that's why they pissed all over Wembley like they did. You know, so
I mean, the Irish are like, well, you did that to our country, so here, have some of this back, you fuckers.
And there's no love from the Welsh either. So
no,
yeah.
So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, this is a perfect metaphor for America. Shit and piss, because that's the state of America and the state of the UK. And we're going to call it there, because I'm tired and I want to go to bed. But it's been great. I love a good stream where you can talk about taking a shit, because it's the best thing in the world. We'll
do it, and we all do it, and we can all relate.
Everybody poops. I think that was a book as well, a children's book.
It was.
Yes. So on that note, I'd like to thank my co-host.
Sorry. No. This was definitely opinions and assholes, because everybody has one, and that was today's show for sure.
That was today's show, and it fit in perfectly with the current political climate. And on that note, I bid everyone adieu.